Jablonski. He was the best.
He was an asshole.
Like an asshole, he was shit hot. No one's irreplaceable, Strader. So you got an attitude, you better learn to deal with it. Say howdy doody to your new partner.
That's all I need. A goddamn cake.
Beverly Hills Sponge. They were man and pastry. They were blood and jam filling. The cops united in their quest.
This time, babe, all I want to do is take a nice, quiet vacation.
Todd Gleason's back. And his back's against the wall. In Magnum Pictures, things exploding. Shelley Saprisky.
Don't bullshit me. I just want to know when you're going to be ready to make me a commitment.
Look, I told you, I'll make you a commitment. Soon as things stop exploding.
Nick, you think I can get...
What's that noise?
Things exploding. From Magnum Pictures this summer. And from Medusa Films comes a motion picture story to stir the soul. Of a love that refused to die. Things exploding too. Everything explodes. Medusa Pictures soon on video.
Well, with Wimbledon fortnight overrunning by 3 months, our programmes are running slightly behind schedule. And so here, a little later than advertised, is the weather forecast for July the 16th.
So, here are the cringing wretches who do not wish to pay taxes to the legal owner of their land.
Senor, we beg of you.
Silence! It is time that Don Alfonso set the citizens of Santa Lucrecia an example they will not forget, I think.
Senor Alfonso, have mercy.
Vámonos!
Stick on your collar, don't stay on you. Stick on your collar, said you were untrue.
Pedro Esposito, what did you think of that?
I like it.
Why?
It was catchy. A nice groovy beat. Something the kids can dance to. I voted a hit.
Take him away and shoot him.
Please don't mention me. I don't want to die. I'm 16.
So, we vote that one in. Which is good because I hate Connie Francis. Now, let's see what you make of this one.
I wanna be Bobby's girl. I wanna be Bobby's girl.
Alessandro Morrito, you would go out and buy this record, eh?
See? It's one of those tunes you just have to tap your feet to. See, it's one for the kids, but also for the moms and dads, and I predict it will go straight to the top of the hit parade.
Take him away and shoot him. Want some, Miguel? You liked it too?
Me? I hate it. I hate and despise it with a loathing I cannot describe. It was shallow, derivative. The production was anodyne, the lyrics banal, with a cliched pop vocabulary of pure bubblegum that was all pulse and no heartbeat.
see. Well, it is a great shame that you think that, my friend. Because we happen to have Susan Bond here with us.
Please, no! Somebody save me!
The night as bold as brass on a moped, he's truly mastered. He's fast when the gatehouse a B with his blade, a B that stands for bastard. Bastard, Alexei, he's never remotely bastard. See how he saves us all, the fat bastard. With a B that stands for bastard.
People often ask me how I got into show business. Well, I do start off with a slight advantage. I am actually one of Vanessa Redgrave's daughters. But I'm actually something of an outsider. I don't fit into the showbiz establishment. I don't fit in. Mind you, I would do if they made the doors a bit wider. I'm actually something of an eccentric as well. I'm something of an eccentric. They broke the mould while they were making me. Usually, when I'm on stage doing one of my concerts, I only ever do like a minute and a half. Always leave them wanting more. Like all good comedians, I love a game of golf. And I often take part in the P.W. Botha Pro-Am Celebrity Golf Classic. You know the sort of thing, strictly for charity. Water Rats versus Martin Bormann's Escaped Nazi War Criminals Showbiz 11. I mean, what is golf? Golf is actually an opportunity for a load of guys to dress up in trousers like Coco the Clown. Or Coco the Bastard, as we call him. Sorry, I keep going off at tangents. Anyway, as I was saying, though,
a new opinion poll published today in the Sunday Times shows that people have had a right gutful of opinion polls. Of those questions, 63% said, piss off, I've got a train to catch. 28% said hanging should be brought back, just wait there while I go and get a rope. And the other 9% said that they were small cubes of orange-coloured wood. And that they fully supported the government's policy on education. Farming news now, and a new opinion poll published in the Sunday Times shows chickens have now moved into a 12-point lead over combine harvesters for the first time since February. Asked what type of crisps do you like, only 39% now prefer combine harvester flavour, with the other 10% on dangerous drugs. Sport. And a new opinion poll published in the Sunday Times makes grim reading for children reading Grimm's fairy tales. Asked if there were a general election tomorrow, what kind of strange, meaningless noise would you make in the bath? 42% said they would squawk like a troop of gibbons. 31% said they would go nyang, nyang, nyang through a rolled-up newspaper. And 12% said they would give a speech outlining the government's policy on education. Urine is still the most popular waste product to be expelled via the human bladder. According to a new opinion poll published in the Sunday... Oh, and I'm sorry, we have to interrupt this bulletin and go over for important news flash now to me. Here is an important news flash. Reports are just coming in of a major accident in the Marplan Market Research Centre at Kensington. The exact damage is still not known, but it's believed that the results of several major opinion polls are now leaking out into the Earth's atmosphere. The public are warned to stay indoors, as these opinion polls are extremely dangerous.
it's a funny game, isn't it, cricket? I went to a cricket match the other day. It was England versus the rest of the world. The pitch was a bit crowded. It's like... Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Naked Gardening. This week we look at English shrub roses naked.
The season's new varieties of petunias, completely naked.
And we take a stroll around the Royal Horticultural Gardens at Wisley, in the nude, without a stitch on of any kind.
But first, the results of our best-kept garden competition, and the winner was Mr. Arnold Blissett, the head groundsman to Lord and Lady Borridge at Winthorpe Park, Cirencester. So, congratulations, Arnold. And your £2.50 Halfords voucher will be winging its way to you straight after the programme. But now it's time to answer some of your calls. Gordon.
Yes, on line 3, we have Mr. Willis Twinkie from Beccles in Suffolk. Mr. Twinkie, your question, please.
Well, last autumn I bought some sweet pea seedlings and potted them in well-drained compost wearing a small flesh-coloured posing pouch. I fed them twice a week throughout the winter, clad in a pair of scanty latex briefs, and then planted them out last April in an alkaline soil wearing a totally sheer see-through G-string. But without any success, I'm afraid.
Well, one for you, I think, Bill.
Yes, well, this is a familiar tale, isn't it, Gordon? Have you tried popping down to your local garden centre for a bag of loam stark bollock naked, Mr. Twinkie?
I have, yes.
Why?
I beg your pardon?
What, are you some kind of pervert or something?
But you just said...
Never mind what we just said. God, the sickos that ring up sometime. Have you no shame of any kind, man?
I thought your programme...
Don't give us that old cliched crap about the corrupting influence of television. Make a note of his name, Gordon, and pass it on to the Serious Crime Squad.
Oh, my God, what have I done? I'll never be able to face my family and friends again. Where's that hedge trimmer?
And that's all from us this week on Naked Gardening. And now it's time to join Crispin Fudge for personal finance with a jackdaw down your trousers.
Tonight, I shall be looking at the relative merit of fixed income capital bonds versus personal equity plans and building an evenly spread medium-term investment portfolio. But first, this.
It's inexplicable, isn't it, eh, mine? I mean, what's he doing? Wallpaper in a phone box. Milking a goat. Nevertheless, under EC harmonisation of comedy laws, by 1992, 75% of all comedy will have to be mime. It's a lot of old toss, innit, eh, mime? I mean, who in their right minds, right, would pay good money to see a real man sew his fingers together, walk into a high wind, and get shut in a glass box? There's some French git called Bip or Snot or something. He pretends to sew his fingers together, walk into a high wind, and get shut in a glass box, and people travel from Guildford to see him.
You know, treatment of the mentally ill in this country is a scandal. What the government's doing now is they're closing down and selling off the mental homes, and they're supposedly reintegrating the mentally ill into the community. They're reintegrating them into the community by letting them wander the streets all day going... In fact, in some parts of London, it looks like they're closing down and selling off the cemeteries and reintegrating them with the community. Excuse me, tell me the way to Piccadilly Circus. So, we all have to look after our own health these days, and I'm very health conscious. I watch me weight. Yeah. still there. And I only ever drink Diet Coke. Mind you, I'm a bit suspicious about Diet Coke. If it's so good, how come you only ever see fat people drinking it? Everybody's more health conscious, though, even on the railways. I mean, you can't get old-fashioned railway food anymore. You go to the buffet bar, and they give you, like, a granary wholemeal bap with, like, an avocado and iguana filling. I mean, I used to really like the old-fashioned railway food. Do you remember the Lion's individual fruit pie? So-called because it had an individual piece of fruit in it. I'm Jewish, you know, and we're very health-conscious people. But really, apparently, looking after your health and all that, it's a complete waste of time. Because what's important is heredity. And what's important is not what killed your parents, but what killed your grandparents. Well, I mean, that's great. I mean, I should live forever as long as I don't bump into any Russian Cossacks. But I do look after myself and... Oh. Actually, you know, I got quite ill recently. Yeah, I was quite seriously ill. I wasn't exactly at death's door, but I was certainly at death's patio. And finally, in desperation, I turned to homeopathic medicines. Now, the great thing about homeopathic medicines is they don't have any side effects. Well, they don't have any bloody effect. I mean, you might as well try them because, I mean, the National Health Service is just crumbling around us. I mean, for example, if you go into intensive care now, they don't wire you up to one of them beep-beep, one of them ECG machines to see if you're still breathing. No, what they do is they stick a harmonica in your mouth, right? And you're lying there going... Nurse, nurse! I was in Mayo Surgical the other day and they all broke into Karma Chameleon. You come and go, you come and...
Welcome to another Badger Watch. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm here in the depths of chilly Norfolk with award-winning natural history cameraman Lyndon Willis. Now, as we all know, the badger is a very timid creature. So the trick is not to let him know we're here, which means being very quiet and very careful. And with a bit of luck, we might just catch a sight of one of them.
For God's sake, what's happened to the light?
Well, it's now just gone 4 a.m. and we think we just heard a rustle of something in the bushes over here. So fingers crossed, we may be just about to catch our first glimpse of this charming little creature. Yes, Lyndon, over there, look. Can you see just there?
Yes, there he is. Yep. That's him. Oh, he's a beauty, isn't he? Yeah, I reckon if we keep quiet, I could just get closer. Bloody hell.
What is it?
Look, is this somebody's idea of a... I mean, this is obviously a bloody...
Ah! What's wrong? Somebody! Can somebody help Lyndon, please? Can somebody get Lyndon out of this thing? Please!
We've been waiting patiently inside our hide now for 2 hours. And I have to say, I don't think there are going to be any badgers turning up here tonight now. In fact, I think it's probably pretty safe to say there isn't a single badger for miles around. These highly sensitive creatures, remember, are so nervous about coming anywhere near a human being. They will almost certainly frighten the poor little things off.
One of the things about having kids is that when they start going to school, they start coming home covered in parasites. Recently, my 5-year-old came home and he had 3 members of the House of Lords in his hair. The next door's youngest, well, he's infested with Channel 4 commissioning editors. Great having a home and a family, though. We've got one of them satellite dishes. Mind you, they did some audience research and they found out that we were the only family watching. So what they decided to do was they thought it'd be cheaper if they got rid of all the technology and just did the programmes in our house, yeah? They don't half-hate it when I change channels, though, you know. Because they have to clear out all the ice hockey people and bring in Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman in the twinkling of an eye to do Rain Man. Mind you, have you noticed with them satellite dishes, the other thing is that all the programmes are really old. Now, the reason for that is actually physics, right? Because you know the light from certain planets, by the time it reaches the Earth, it's thousands of years old. Well, the same's true of them satellite TV programmes. When they leave the satellite, they're modern, jazzy, upbeat comedy programmes. By the time they get to your set, they've turned into I Love Lucy. Well, you've got to be very careful when you get home, you know, because apparently 75% of all accidents happen in the home. Yeah? We had a big train crash in our upstairs landing last week. Get me oxyacetylene to get to the lavatory.
It's a 49er! Welcome back to the Conkers Factor. Well, I shall recall just before the break, Mrs. Lottie Damp from Buntingford was disqualified for coating her head in vinegar and baking it in the oven. So that means we've got a new Conkers Factor champion, Mrs. Minnie Dot Matrix from Squirming in Agony. Now, Minnie's a 29er. She plays for the North Thames Gas Board first team, and she suffers from a rather unpleasant skin condition, which flares up in the form of a stomach rash in the shape of the Isley brothers. She's partnered tonight by her nephew, Bob. So, straight on to our special Conkers Factor Lucky Strike round. How you both feeling? OK?
Quietly confident, Amadeus, you know. Ready to have a go?
Lovely. So, the very best of luck to the both of you. And if you'd like to step up and join Lenny on the platform.
OK, so settle down now, Bob. Lots of time. Whenever you're ready.
Yes! That's a nasty crack on the right temple. So, you win a set of crystal wine glasses.
Still lots of time, Bob. Nice and steady.
That's the tip of the skull, just below the left mastoid sector. So that's the kiddies' walk set.
And lots of concentration here now, Bob. Everything to play for.
On the centre of the cranium, causing multiple fractures, concussion, and permanent brain damage. So you get to host your own game show on Central Television.
People often go on about the death of the British film industry. They complain about lack of public interest or lack of investment or unfair American competition. I'll tell you why the British film industry is dying. Because British films are crap. Have you ever seen a load of more unentertaining, depressing guff than the things that British film producers turn out in this country? I mean, here's one. Chosen at random from 1990. Here you are. Ladder of Swords. This is a film starring Martin Shaw as a bloke who lives in a caravan and climbs a ladder of swords. Amazing. I mean, you'd have to force people at machine gun point to go and see that, wouldn't you? I mean, there's only one thing worse than British films, and that's germ warfare.
The British are obsessed with linking movies with the arts. They still keep giving money to Ken Russell. Their stories all revolve around some knobby little fart, played usually by Judi Dench in a bustle. And when did a British comedy ever make you laugh, or excite, or thrill you in any way? The trouble is, they try to be too clever by half. And that's why I feel I've got to say. Hooray for British films. They're always living in the past. Hooray for British films. The flags are flying at half-mast. Hooray for British films. They're unbelievably grim. Hooray for British films. Even the Technicolor's dim. They're boring and pedestrian, go on for hours and hours. The stories are parochial and narrow. They're always about nasty things that happen in the showers at public schools like Etonstow and Harrow.
I'm working on a treatment for Kenneth Branagh.
Really? I'm working on a cure for rabies.
Pauline Collins talking Scouse was utterly fantastic. Tom Conti has a talent to impress. How really great to know Daniel Day-Lewis can act spastic, and Coltrane's always trying to be funny in a dress. Hooray for British films, they're always living in the past. Hooray for British films, the flags are flying at half-mast. Hooray for British films, the plotline always falters. Hooray for British films, and so they stick in Julie Walters. British films look backwards, never deal with modern ways, and pander to the snooty critic strictures. They come with such a fanfare, then they're gone again in days, like David Putnam at Columbia Pictures.
One ticket for a new British film, please.
Sorry, sir, it's just gone straight onto video.
The silver screen in Britain slowly sinking in the West, and Helena Bonham Carter's never off it. You'd have to have your brain removed in order to invest. British films never, ever, ever make a profit. I'm sick of dross that David Hare's adapted from his play. The public would much rather see Steve Martin any day.
For British films, hooray, 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 hooray!
To your left, seats to the brand new British film. To your right, having your head stapled to a stampeding bison.
When a British film's been made and sold and generally ignored, the only fate in store that now remains is the chance to end up late at night somewhere on Channel 4, or in a skip for 50p at Sainsbury's. Exciting, full of thrills and entertainment, no they're not. It's hard to think of one redeeming feature that they've got. And yet, if I was offered one, I'd take it like a shot.
Sir Richard Attenborough? What, you want me to black up and do the Indian voice for your new EM Forster production? 3 o'clock at Cafe Royal? Look, can we cut this song? I mean, I don't think it's working, you know. I mean, I really feel that it's...
Well, we still have a little time to spare before the next programme, so what better way to fill it than a few moments with Lord William Rees-Mogg. Very sorry about that. Apparently the BBC recorded the wrong channel by mistake. But rest assured, it won't happen again.
Wow! Gee, that was good.
Wasn't it great?
I tell you, I'm mighty tempted to go and buy one of those myself, Sally.
Me too.
So, tell us what's next on offer.
Well, Mort, how many times have you been out on a date, having dinner or going to the movies or whatever, and you think, gee, I really wish I had an elastic band on my nose?
Gosh, I think I know just what you mean, Sally.
It's such a simple thing, and yet how often do you get caught out? Well, I think this could solve it for you.
Oh, wow. Gee, that looks neat, Anna. That would come, I guess, in one size fits all, would it?
It's one size, Mort. It's simple, it's elegant, and so hard-wearing, and at $29.95, it really won't put a strain on your pocketbook.
And I guess when I took it off, I could just fold it right up and stick it up my ass.
Mort, that is how versatile this is. You could stick it just about anywhere, and it wouldn't be out of place.
So that's a dream of an opportunity you really won't want to miss out on, girls. That's our home shopping network Coronado elastic band. An exclusive offer at an unbelievable $29.95. There's the number to ring. Just call Collect. We accept MasterCard, Visa, Amex, Disney dollars, or any of your children in part exchange. You know, I think I saw Tubby Wynette wearing one of those the other day, Sally.
I think I did too, Mort.
Well, now listen, girls. Round about now, it's that time of the year, office parties and what you will. I'm sure a lot of you'll be thinking about nailing a dead budgerigar to your forehead. Now listen, for $33.50, you won't see better value than this.
Oh, Mort, that is such a steal.
Isn't it?
You know, I never to this day can figure out how they can come up with that kind of quality at these prices.
Right. Well, you can team it up with slacks, skirt, or just your regular pantyhose.
Okay, everyone, this is the number. Just call us right now. We'll mail it to you direct. Now, Mort, I want you to take a look at this.
Oh, my Sally, this is...
This is 120 pounds of horseshit, Morris.
Gee, it surely is, Sally.
Now, this is genuine American crap, Morton. I tell you, the folk out there won't want to be without it. You can wear it to the ball game. You can serve it at dinner parties. It really does have 101 uses.
You know, I think I saw Alexei Sayle talking this only the other day.
I think I did too, Mort. Well, here he is now.
Out of the night, as bold as brass on a moped, he's truly mastered. Smash when the gatehouse a B with his blade, a B that stands for bastard. Bastard. Alexei, he's never remotely bastard. See how he saves us all, the fat bastard.
One of the most disturbing things about nearly all governments is their cynical pragmatism. Long before the end of the Second World War, the Allies were planning to recruit and pardon many sinister Nazi scientists. Dr. Werner von Braun, father of the deadly V-2 rocket, Siegfried Mahler, the evil biologist, and perhaps most sinister of all, Dr. Scholl, father of the Volks Sandal, a secret project to have every German wearing at least one ugly clog by the end of 1943. You know what the worst thing about the war was? Hang on. Aren't we doing this the wrong way round?
Oh, sorry.
No, well, I didn't. Well, I was a bit confused. I thought, there's something like... You know what the worstest thing about the war was, though? Allo, allo. I hate bloody allo, allo. I mean, it's gone on longer than the war, hasn't it? And it's caused almost as many casualties. I don't know about you, but I'm not ready for funny Gestapo yet. We ain't half Nazis, Mum. How bleeding hilarious. People say to me, as an iconoclastic comedian, is there anything that you wouldn't make a joke about? Well, yes, personally, I would never make a joke about a ratchet screwdriver. Ratchet screwdrivers or school uniforms.
Next week, we'll see what we can do.
Morning, Mrs. Bleasdale.
Sod off, right.
Morning, Mrs. Sayle. What can we do for you?
Well, our Alexei starts at Allsop Grammar School a week next Monday, right? And I've got a list here for his new school kit. For a start, he's going to need a new school blazer.
Right, you are, madam. Mr. Handley, have we got a 48 fat little bastard?
Coming up, Mr. Askey.
Right, he'll also need 1 pair of short trousers, grey, 3 pairs of socks, grey, 1 school tie, grey, 6 pairs of underpants, grey, 6 pairs of white underpants, grey, and a school badge for his sandwiches.
With the eagle crest or the partridge family?
Ooh, grey. 1 rugby shirt, 1 football shirt, 1 wall of death outfit, a cap, a best cap, a spare cap, a speech day cap, a homework cap, a cap that confers upon the wearer the gift of invisibility for calling prefects knob ends, and a cap with moose antlers.
Right, there we are.
1 pair of reversible plimsolls, some spiked running shorts, a tube of ointment in the school colours for birching practice, and 2 Winciette undervests depicting the martyrdom of Saint Sebastian by Kenneth Connor.
And you'll be wanting the name tag stitched to the back of his neck in case of theft.
Oh, yes, please. And stop swearing!
Oh, bugger.
We interrupt this programme to go over to the BBC newsroom, where there's a wine and cheese party, apparently. So, while we're gone, here on 2, we present A Few Moments with Lord William Rees-Mogg. We seem to be having trouble bringing you that item. In the meantime, here is some music. Well, we are pleased to say we can now bring you A Few Moments with Lord William Rees-Mogg.
And first of all, a safety warning. Kids, don't attempt to do this at home. You know, one of the wonders of our age is all these time-saving, labour-saving devices that we have these days. You know, for example, it used to take 4.5 hours to get to Glasgow on the train. Now it takes 5 minutes in the microwave. Most of these consumer items are the Japanese, aren't they? And it's not just creative industrialisation and marketing and design that makes Japanese products preeminent. No, most of all, it's actually this little gadget, the cross-flow eliminator. Now, this is the device that enables your Japanese consumer products to break down the exact microsecond that the guarantee is up. Like, say you bought a compact disc player, right? At 3:45 on January the 6th, 1989. At 3:46, January the 6th, 1990, it goes boing, right? And breaks down. I mean, how come, if Japanese products are so efficient and never break down, right, how come everybody at home's got a drawer full of 7 broken Walkman?
I don't know where they are. They said they'd definitely be here by this.
I'll get it.
This the one then, is it, sir? The Yamaguchi 6300K with fast text?
That's right.
That's the ticket. Where do you want it set up then?
Just here, please.
All right then, here we go. Down she goes. Just the ticket. Sign there, please. Plug her in there. Here we go. Diddly-doo. Yuckety yuck. Thank you very much. And I'll whip it straight back to the workshop. Get it up on the bench. Get the back off. Have a look. See, sort that problem out for you in no time at all. It's nothing to worry about. No, nothing to worry about at all. It's just a minor teething problem. Very common on these models. Tuesday afternoon, all right for you. I'll see myself out then. Bye. Hello again there. Lovely Friday afternoon, isn't it? Sorry about the delay. Parts had to come from Nairobi. Bloody Japanese crap. Still, we sorted out that little problem for you. Fixed it all well and good. Tickety boo, she's as good as new. Down here, was it? Yes, but could you... You're absolutely right. It's no better than before. I told them down the depot, I said, he's never going to put up with in that condition. They've supposed to fix it, but the bloody thing's worse than ever. Never mind, nothing to worry about. We'll get straight back to the workshop, sort that problem for you at no time at all, no trouble whatsoever, nothing to worry about. It's just a major design defect. They haven't sorted the tube out yet. Next Thursday, tea time, all right for you. I'll see myself out then. Bye.
What the hell was all that about?
Hello again. Lovely Wednesday evening, isn't it? We sorted that trouble out for you, no problem this time. Got you a new set. That old set piece of junk, dumped it in the Thames. Got a brand new, fresh one straight from the factory this morning. It's It's just as bad as the first one. So we get straight onto the manufacturers, but I'm afraid there's no more in stock until Easter. July the 3rd, all right for you? Don't worry, I'll see myself out then. Bye!
I'm going to phone the shop.
Hey, buongiorno, signora Goodston. Gordon. I come straight here, bring 2 piece set from workshop.
Workshop?
No workshop. My cousin Pirelli borrowed it for a weekend. Okay, Sinja here, please.
Yes, but can you leave it this time?
Hey?
Can you leave it?
Hey?
Leave it behind!
I leave it behind?
Yes!
Thank you, I nearly forgot. Okay, Monday afternoon's okay, I see myself around.
Hello again. Merry Christmas, everybody. Here we are, then. One television set in perfect working order.
Look, is this some kind of joke?
No, this is some kind of joke. I came here to the States to play for an American football team. Yeah, the Boston Stranglers. I'm a tight end. At least that's what everybody says about me. It's a tremendously insular country, the United States. Yeah. For example, the big tournament in baseball is called the World Series. No other bloody country plays baseball. You got any other countries in this World Series? Oh, well, we got San Francisco. Is that a country? Oakland, the People's Republic of Oakland. People seem very cut off from each other as well. I mean, on the street, everybody's got stereo headphone units on, you know. They've got the sound turned up so loud, the music's coming out of their arse, like... What, you got Bon Jovi up there, or what? I've done some gigs in America as well, but American audiences, they're awful. It's like their ancestors came over from Europe on the sister ship of the Titanic, the Moronic. They don't laugh, right? All they do is they do this kind of woo noise all the time, like they go woo all the time. Yeah, woo! It's like somebody's running around the theatre, poking them with a sharpened cucumber. Yes. American comics, American comedians, they're very slick, but they're very mechanical, you know. It's all as if they're like robo-comic, you know, kind of... Your move, creep. You're a wonderful audience. Hey, I went out with a girl from Buffalo. Why can't I meet somebody with normal parents? The other thing they do is they do this false observation thing as well. Like they say, hey, guys, isn't it terrible? You go out with your girlfriend, right, and her head explodes, and everyone's going, woo, yeah, woo, that happened to me, yeah, woo, woo, woo. I'm talking about, you know, they say, hey, ladies, you know, like your apartment's robbed, right, and the police come round, and they're hiding in the central heating reservoir, quacking like a duck, or whack, whack. Everyone's going, yeah, woo, yeah, woo, yeah, that happened to me, woo. Or they go, hey, guys, isn't it terrible, right, when you're standing on the street and suddenly a medieval wizard comes along and casts a spell and turns you into a daytime TV presenter? With the time coming up to just 9:30, here's a rundown of treats in store for you later this morning. At 10:15, it's time for Rosemary Clooney's Flap That Cellulite Show, including an exciting new recipe for low-calorie lard. Then, at 10:40, we go over to BBC Norwich for Goat Time, introduced by a man who left Blue Peter under dubious circumstances. At 11:15, 33A Doggett Road, Catford, is our destination for Twigs and What to Do with Them, introduced by Desmond Tutu and Lenny the Lion, and featuring Dame Paddy Ashdown singing I'm Just a Girl Who Can't Say No. At 11:30, we were hoping to have the Beverly Sisters, but only half of them have turned up, which is rather messy, as there are, of course, 3 in the group. But right now, nostalgia is the order of the day, as it's time to look back at some of those old wartime recipes in On the Ration.
Hello there, mums and kiddies, and welcome once more to On the Ration. Now, back in 1944, things were a lot different to what they are today. Helmets were worn just below the ankle, and all my teeth were prefabs. But it wasn't all sing-alongs and horrific chest injuries. There was cooking to get on with. Now, this is where I used to work. The Ministry of Bakelite, George Formby songs, and food. We used to make, do, and mend up all those cunning recipes for the British housewife. so that Dad could keep Mum and Mum could keep the home service burning while we were all on the ration. Now, this is a ration book here. Not a real one, of course, because they were rationed. We were also allowed 3 parsnips, a pea, 6 ounces of loose road chippings, and although we had no butter at all, we did have this, a paper ladder made from old newspapers. So, let's have a look at some of those delicious, nutritious recipes you could cook up without recourse to the black market over here. Now, first of all, we've got this deliciously mouth-watering stuffed baked potato. Stuffed with potato, of course, to save on meat. And Dad, over here, we've got Dad's favourite mock apricot tart. Now, I've used old flywheels and cylinder pistons from a crashed Stuka on this one. But Dad never noticed. He'd been drowned at Dunkirk. And to make the pastry, we used 6 ounces of flour, and because fat was like gold dust, we used this. A signed photograph of Sydney Greenstreet. Just fold it in. Now, of course, in those days, we didn't have any baking powder, so we had to use an oven, which was only available on the black market or from your local...
One of the things that's really difficult these days is... Oi! One of the things that's really difficult these days is adoption. Recently, I tried to adopt, and all kinds of obstacles were put in my way. All right, so I was trying to adopt Whitney Houston. The thing that really gets on my nerves these days is all these reformed drug addicts, all these people going on about how they've kicked their addiction, you know. They seem to want our applause and our approbation for stopping doing something that was a bloody stupid thing to do in the first place. Well, I've stopped putting me dick in the food blender.
Veronica, I've just received this telegram from Brigadier Marsh in Sarajevo. Veronica, my darling, I don't know how to break this to you, but it appears that I'm wearing a false beard.
It can't be true.
I'm afraid there's no doubt. It's a rather crude crepe substitute woven onto a gauze mesh base and secured to my face and chin with gum arabic. Apparently it's worse when I stand in profile against the light.
This is like a nightmare become grim reality.
That's not all, I'm afraid. I ran into Sir Edward Grey today at the Foreign Office. The papers have got hold of the story that he's wearing a large pair of fake mutton chop side whiskers. In fact, they're saying that as many as 12 members of the War Cabinet may be going around with dummy beards, fake moustaches, and other forms of theatrical hair on their faces.
Even Mr. Asquith?
No, his beard's real, but Mr. Asquith is false.
Hello, you two. What the deuce are you up to? What is it? Whatever's wrong?
Walter, I think you better ask everyone to assemble in the sitting room straight away.
And they're absolutely certain of this, I suppose, damn them.
I guess it must come as a real shock to you all, but so long as you don't stand in profile against the light.
Shock? My God!
I'm glad you're all here because I have some rather bad news myself. I went to see the doc today, and he tells me that I've got a phony American accent.
Veronica, my darling, my sweet, my angel delight, tell me it can't be.
It's what they call a caricature or some such word. He says that apparently nobody in the entire United States of America actually speaks like this. It's an English thing.
God, what's happening to the world? What's happening to the old values?
Actually, Edward, I've got some rather bad news too, I'm afraid. It seems that for some time now, Charles and I, well, we've had our feet nailed to your sitting room floor.
My God, no way.
Sometime last March, apparently. I don't know if you've noticed, but we haven't moved much since then. It's rough, I know. It's particularly hard on a deaf mute like Charles here. I suppose there are those who are worse off than us. Roger, do they think there's any chance that you'll ever...
Be able to remove my hand from this mantelpiece? Not a hope in hell. They say I may have to remain like this for the rest of my days. For God's sake, Mother, stop sniffing that glue behind your hanky. You think we can't see you?
God, war is hell.
A number of complaints have been received about a certain item broadcast on BBC Two earlier this evening. I think you know the one we're talking about. The one that went... It has been drawn to our attention that the background music and soundtrack on this item in no way befits the gravity and dignity of a gentleman of Lord William Rees-Mogg's stature, having, as he does, the power of life and death over every individual working in television today. The BBC would like to make it clear that it regards the aforementioned item as cheap, tacky, totally unwarranted, and without any satirical merit of any kind whatever. And here it is again.
One of the charges levelled at the BBC by rabid right-wingers like Norman Tebbit and William Rees-Mogg is that it's a hotbed of left-wing and communist activity. I mean, what rot!
Morning, comrade.
Morning, comrade. The breakup of the Soviet Union has shown that Soviet-style communism has been a disaster. One of the reasons is that all left-wingers like to spend more time fighting and persecuting their own comrades than they do trying to improve society. I was in an extreme communist group when I was young, and they used to spend all their time rowing with and splitting off from each other. The group I was in was called the Communist Party of Britain Marxist-Leninist, the CPBML. This itself was actually a split-off from the Communist Party of Great Britain, the CPGB. Now, the CPBML, they had a row, and they split off into the Communist Party of Britain Marxist-Florist, the CPBMF. They then, in turn, had a row, and they split off into the Communist Federation of England Marxist-Spencerist and the Communist Party of Wales Marxist Shopping List, the CPWM&S. They then, in turn, split and became Fat Larry's Band, who had a big hit in 1979 with Zoom, which was #1 in Britain and America. Morning, comrade choreographer.
Morning, comrade Ducky Darling comedian.
Greetings, comrade TV lovelies.
Morning, comrade celebrity satirist.
Morning, comrade TV science show front person.
Morning, comrade fat bastard.
And Alexei Sayle can be heard later tonight on Radio 4, talking about his own inimitable brand of savage humour in discussion with the chairman of the Broadcasting Standards Committee, Lord William Rees-Mogg. That's Kaleidoscope on Radio 4 at 10 o'clock. Back to this evening's programmes now, and a change of mood with this week's edition of A Day in the Life.
I've always been a country dweller. I find that living in a country is a lot drier than living in the sea. We did have a small cottage at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean for weekends, till the barracuda started moving into the area and of course prices just tumbled. 2 years ago, my wife Axminster and I bought a field of burnt stubble in Berkshire and restored it into a haystack, which is where I tend to write all the funny scripts for my TV shows. My wife and I are both vegetarians, so we can only sleep in an allotment growing cauliflowers. Every morning at 6, we have to get up to give the Cocker Spaniels their breakfast. We've got 4 Cocker Spaniels, all named after subatomic particles. Quark and Proton get very beady if they're not fed on time, while Neutron will never let you know she's suffering an ethical dilemma over the cannibalistic semiology of gnawing on a bone. At 10 o'clock, our best friends, Carla and Bronco Lane, come for coffee. And we swap ideas for comedy shows while nibbling Rye Vita, Carla's pet tortoise. At lunchtime, I swim 14 lengths of my swimming pool. The last 13 are over land, as I haven't perfected a turn yet. At 3, we have afternoon tea with our best friends, Carla and Drury Lane, and collaborate on a new organic tapestry we're working on. Carla says we must be very careful not to share needles, and we all laugh for 11 and a half minutes. Around about 6 o'clock, as it starts to get dark, I become a werewolf and gorge myself on the blood of innocent virgins. And then it's back to the telly to watch Channel 4 News. At midnight, our best friends, Carla and Tamberlane, the Mongol conqueror, come round for Coco, who has just escaped from the circus. Often, while I'm asleep, I'll dream of a really funny idea for a sketch. Then, in the morning, I'll forget all about it and write something like this.
Wow. Alexei Sayle and his team will be wreaking more mirth and mayhem next week at the same time here on BBC Two.
Jam has been a staple of our English diet for over 800 years. As a nation, we eat more than 3.5 million tons of it every day. Everything from common or garden apple and strawberry to more exotic preserves like pawpaw and grenadilla confitures. But how good is it for us? In an age where we're increasingly warned about diet and sugar intake, is nature becoming sweet in tooth and claw? Michael Burke gets sticky fingers as he investigates the pros and cons of going for a jar in the first of a new series of Horizon, here on BBC Two on Monday night at 9:30.
And now a change to the advertised programme. A few moments with Lord William Rees-Mogg. Before the next programme, we're just going back to that big story again. Bob Whip-Jip-Jup-Jup is at the scene, and he's on the line now. Bob, how big is this story?
It's pretty big, Brian. As I stand here, I can see 20, perhaps 30 minutes of airtime. Some reports have even said an extended news bulletin.
Do we know if hyperbole is being used at all?
To an astronomical degree, Brian. The figures we're getting are 37 hysterical cliches and up to 900 cases of vague, unsubstantiated guesswork. Or it could be 1 million. Or 3.5. Or none at all.
Right. Now, what do we know about the story itself?
Nothing at all, Brian. As I'm sure you appreciate, it's far too early to speculate.
Yes. So this scene you're at, we've no idea where it is or why on earth you're there.
None whatsoever, but I am definitely at it as I speak, and you can be sure I'll stay right here on the spot to monitor developments.
Bob Whip-Jip-Jup-Jup, thank you.
Thank you.
The night as bold as brass on a moped, he's truly mastered. Spat when the gatehouse a bee with his blade, a bee that stands for bastard. Bastard. Alexei, he's saves us all, the fat bastard. With a B that stands for bastard.
Experts, stock market crash, share prices tumble, city in panic, read all about it. Also, new Samuel Beckett retrospective opens at the National. Highlights Tramity's quest for a reality underlying illusory pseudo-objectivism. Get your paper here. Extra, extra.
Oh, it makes me laugh, you know when police announce drug seizures. It says here, police today in Southampton seized 1.5 ounces of cannabis with a street value of £78 billion. I don't know who they're buying their drugs off. You can advance a reasonable moral argument for saying that you should legalise drugs. I don't know whether they should or not. It'd certainly make Gardener's Question Time a lot more interesting. Tonight on the panel, we've got Alan Gemmell, Alan Titchmarsh, and Professor Chico Estevez of the University of Medellin, Colombia. Yo, bro, what's happening, baby? Give me a question. Well, I've got a bit of brown leaf mold on my marijuana plant. It also makes me laugh when you see people snorting cocaine. Now, most cocaine, right, is smuggled inside people. So these trendies are snorting stuff that's been up the rectum of a Bolivian peasant for the last 6 weeks. These photo booths are interesting places, Yeah. They're not just places where you have your passport photo. No, they are also gateways to another dimension of time and space. Yeah. Behind this mirror is another dimension. And life is very hard and very tough in that other dimension. And that's why, when you get your photos back, they're always of some sad and dispirited stranger. The other thing is that in this dimension, it also rains all the time. And that's why, when you get your photos back, they're always wet.
Sorry about that, sir. What was it?
Yes, well, I brought a film in to be processed last week, and I ordered 1 set of end prints and 1 set of 10x8s. Now, the end prints are fine. Here we are, look. But I'm not really satisfied with the enlargements. Here's another one, see?
Oh, dear.
You see, they're all like that.
Yes, I see. Oh, now this one looks all right. Oh. Tell you what I'm going to do, sir. I'm going to pass you over to Wendy. All right, I think she dealt with this. Wend! Gentleman here got a problem with enlargements.
Can I help you at all, sir?
Yes, it's about these reprints. Look, there seems to be a strange man in them all.
Yeah, it's a free gift.
What?
It's a special offer with every enlargement.
What?
It's a scratch on the negative.
I don't believe you.
Oh, all right, sir. Tell me something. Have you ever heard of a television show called Candid Cardinal?
Oh, no. Not that one where innocent members of the public are duped into thinking their lives are being bizarrely disrupted by some high priest from the Holy Church of Rome. Oh, no. Oh no. I'm so mindlessly, cretinously stupid.
Well, wasn't he a great sport, folks? Now, in part 2, we'll be seeing how Cardinal Basil Hume drove an unsuspecting taxi passenger over a cliff. And we'll also see how a Runcorn housewife got on when she had her teeth drilled by Cardinal Thomas O'Fee, the former primate of all Ireland, posing as a dentist. So join us then, all right?
This is Studio 6, situated at the junction of Dimbleby Boulevard and Dandy Pandy Drive. And in this studio, many classic BBC programmes have been filmed. I wonder how many of you remember the famous series Maigret, starring Rupert Davis. Well, over there on the ground is a dead match, very similar to the one he would have used to light his pipe in that programme. And up there on the wall is the famous blue lamp from Z-Cars. Now, although it looks real, it is in fact made from papier-mâché, chicken wire and crepe paper. as was, mercifully, Brian Blessed and the rest of the cast. Wait a minute. Why, if it isn't Doctor Who. Hello there, Doctor. I hope we're safe from the Daleks here, sir. Oh, gosh, no. What's there ahead of us? Just in time. The Doctor's new young assistant has managed to dismantle their heads and immobilize them. Keep a good lookout on the left for one of our star comedians, Mr. Alexander Sayle, doing one of his faintly amusing comedy skits.
Can I just have the house lights up? I don't usually do this. Can I just have the house lights up? Because there's somebody very special here tonight. Somebody very talented and somebody rather super here tonight. Me! It's me, yes. I'm not just dead talented, though. I'm very intellectual. I also work with me brain. I use my head to break concrete. I'm also actually a very sexy person. I'm a very sexy person, yes. I'd like to show you how sexy I am, but the front 6 rows would have to move back a bit, you know. Actually, my willy's in the Guinness Book of Records. That's where I leave it when I'm not using it, you know. I was having a meal out with my girlfriend a while back, and we were having our vegetables, and the waiter came up to me. He said, "Excuse me, sir, would you like a knob of butter?" I don't think so, no. You know, the Dutch philosopher and theologian Spinoza, who in his Tractatus Tractorum in 1345 posited the theological... What, you heard this one before? You know, I've just been to America. I'm very big in the States. And one of the things that you can do when you go to... I am. And one of the things that you can do when you come back from the States is you can ponce on about all the movies that you've seen that won't be out in Britain for years, you know. And I've seen all the latest movies. I've seen all the follow-ups. I've seen 3 Skeletons and a Little Old Lady. I've seen Aliens 4, West Bromwich Albion 5. And I've seen a black militant version of the 1989 Oscar winner. It's called Driving Over Miss Daisy. You know, it's a very tough business, show business, you know, and, you know, a lot of people in show business actually get very mentally disturbed, you know, and, but I'm actually a very stable person myself. Some people say that I'm actually paranoid, but I don't think I'm paranoid. Everybody off! Come on, everybody off! Come on, get down, you bastards, get down! Sometimes, though, I do actually get the feeling that I'm being bugged, you know. I do get the feeling that I'm being bugged. And I get the feeling that the CIA are going around planting microphones everywhere, you know. But I really... While ironing a mackerel. So, who the hell's that?
Good morning. We're from Third World Sweatshops Limited. I understand you've agreed to both come and work for us on starvation wages in a life in permanent slavery.
I beg your pardon? We've got the chains here, so if you'd like to slip into them now, it'll save time later on.
Look, I think there's been some mistake.
Yeah, I think you signed this form, didn't you?
Yes, I did, but this says, I claim my Vauxhall Calibra 16-valve Roadster as won by me in your £50 million prize draw.
Exactly, which I'm afraid means you've agreed to spend the rest of your life down a hole welding ashtrays in the Philippines.
Oh, fair enough, then.
Ted and Ruby Robespierre of Frimley Green are just the latest in an alarming number of couples falling prey to modern direct marketing techniques. The method is simple. First, the customers receive a letter claiming they are the recipients of a lavish prize. But when they try to claim the prize, it's a different story. Morris and Mimsy Felt of Harlow Newtown were told they had won a £60,000 German-designed hand-built kitchen in weathered walnut. 2 days later, they were nailed into a crate and shipped to Santiago to mine manganese. Mr. Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth Brynylon of Plaistow were sent a telegram saying they had been selected by computer to receive their weight in sapphires every day until Christmas 1999. But after signing the forms, they found they were legally bound to spend 6 months training with the US Marines to form a beachhead in Cuba.
That was the last in the current series of Agatha Christie's Pluto. Next week, the return of Agatha Christie's Pernod, in which Scotland Yard are forced to call in a small bottle of green absinthe-based spirit to help solve the baffling case of an elderly spinster who is found stabbed to death, first in cold blood and then in hot tomato soup. You're watching London Weekend Television.
It's boring when people tell you their dreams. You know, people say, oh, I had like this really amazing dream last night, right? And all these amazing things happened. Of course they did. It was a bloody dream. If they'd been walking down the street in real life and they'd seen a giant 12-foot blue turtle eating George Bush, you'd be interested. Well, you'd be a bit interested. But do people have to live inside their dreams these days? Because the world outside is so awful. Well, no. I mean, I'm a very well-adjusted, happy person. People often ask me how I achieve this. Well, I'll tell you. When people tell me problems, ask me what I think, I say the world's a lovely place. If you've had much too drink. There's no cause to be mean and evil. Just drink a pint of Chivas Regal and start squawking like a seagull. I'm pissed, I'm pissed, I'm pissed. I'm appearing on TV when I start talking in Cherokee. Then I realise, oh, sod me! I'm pissed, I'm pissed, I'm pissed. I'm out shopping for some pies. They start to sing before my eyes. Then I think, surprise, surprise. I'm pissed, I'm pissed. Here come the lizards, here come the lizards, here come the lizards. In Camden Town, I met a gal. She soon became my dearest pal. I called her Wagga. I'm pissed, I'm pissed, I'm pissed. I'm down for a drink or three. Then you know what happened to me. I woke up dead in casualty. I'm pissed, I'm pissed, I'm pissed. Here come the lizards, here come the lizards, here come the lizards. I'm pissed, I'm pissed, I'm pissed. I'm pissed, I'm pissed, I'm pissed.
Janet Street Porter being worked underneath by wires. And as we exit the dummy pub set, you can see ahead of us a BBC studio audience. Now, this audience was used in 1960 for the black and white minstrel show and has been kept in a BBC warehouse under a tarpaulin ever since. As you can see, each member of the audience is constructed in a workshop using plasterboard, chicken wire and latex. And the laughter effect is added later, using the sound of Percy Edwards imitating a flock of incontinent starlings. There you are, you see. Thank you very much. Thank you, Percy. Onwards, please, driver.
One of the things about being an entertainer is that you spend a lot of time on the road, staying in lonely hotel rooms like this one. It's very hard to try and lead a normal life. For example, if you want a drink, the only alcohol available is in the minibar. It's full of all these tiny miniature bottles. Honestly, it's like trying to get pissed in Legoland. I read in the paper the other day about how somebody paid $1.5 million for a Rubens miniature. I'm not staying in that hotel. Food's a big problem as well. And I've actually written a cookbook for people who are on the road. It's full of recipes and also handy tips like how to cook bacon in a Corby trouser press. Eating in roadside cafes is pretty grim as well. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but the symbol for a happy eater restaurant is actually a picture of a man sticking 2 fingers down his throat. Sure, when we get to the gigs, we try and do things differently. For example, at gigs, we don't use bouncers, we use social workers. Any trouble and they take your kids off you. But the worst thing about...
Hello and welcome back to Wakey Wakey Rise and Shine with me, Bunty Binsey.
And me, a slug wearing a yellow tie.
After 8 today, we'll be discussing ovarian cysts with Gary Glitter. And following that at 8:20, we'll be talking about...
With the current fiscal reallocations in the latest Treasury estimates. And with me now in the studio to be quizzed, grilled and generally subjected to rudeness and abuse, thinly disguised as investigative journalism, is the Minister for the Arts. Minister, how does this scheme work exactly?
Well, I think we must start...
Don't give me that crap. Sorry, my underpants. How you can possibly sit there and defend a policy?
I myself live in a cardboard box by the Thames, and see no shame in that.
And in a sense, it seems to me that Norman is asserting the ability of all of us to fall on top of Mr. Grimsdale. And in a sense, it seems to me...
Joe Gascoigne will be telling us about hormone replacement therapy for your paper dollies. But meanwhile, what's today's disease, Louise?
Well, of course, a uterine prolapse is a very serious matter for those involved in parachute jumping.
By 2 masked thugs who set about her and beat her up as she was returning home with her pension. Mrs. Wiblet, vicious and thoroughly cowardly attack on your 80-year-old grandmother. Many people would say she had it coming to her. Begging my pardon is all fine and dandy, Mrs. Wiblet. It doesn't explain why you allowed a frail old lady out on her own at that time of night.
It was 10 o'clock in the morning.
10 o'clock in the morning here, Mrs. Wiblet, but 2 o'clock in the middle of the night in downtown Los Angeles. Crack peddlers slit your throat first and ask questions later. I mean, how you can possibly sit there and defend a policy...
One of those nice walnut whips, with the nice big hazelnut on top.
As you can see from the chart, temperatures are here growing a little colder as the day goes on.
And in a sense, I think it seems to me...
So with the time coming up to 7:30, it's time for a look at the weather with Patrick.
Good morning. Well, it's certainly...
Well, you say that, Patrick. I don't suppose it's a very good one for the 5,500 still without water and electricity after last week's hurricane. Now, they're supposed to be managing in sub-zero temperatures.
Well, I don't know. I mean...
Well, you don't know or you don't care, Patrick. I could bring in the Minister for the Arts and Mrs. Wiblet here. And how you can possibly lie there and defend a policy...
Golden rhododendron of Teddington, as well as the silver and bronze buttercups of Cricklewood and the Prix du Hammersmith flyover, the incomparable Monsieur Aubergine.
Gerbil while I buy an ice cream, Monsieur Aubergine?
Why, certainly, Jacques.
The slight mental quirks that I have is that I feel that I've left something in the dry cleaners. I hope it's not an elephant. I've stopped keeping elephants, though. They were playing hell with me sex life. My girlfriend's very strict. She wears her hair in a bun. It's a sesame seed bun that she got from McDonald's. I actually met my girlfriend through the Lonely Hearts column of What Chainsaw magazine. There's an enormous number of those specialist interest magazines these days. For example, there's Nut and Bolt Collectors Monthly, there's Amateur Gynecologist, there's Armadillo Impersonators Quarterly. And you know, all these magazines actually have their own film, television and drama critics. Here's Socket Set magazine with one of its theatre reviews. The Leicester Haymarket production of Uncle Vanya, starring Vanessa Redgrave, Alexei Redgrave and Redgrave the Wonder Horse, may brilliantly capture the claustrophobic nature of bourgeois pre-revolutionary Russia, but is disgraceful for the total absence of socket sets in Acts 1 and 2. In Act 3, things are slightly enlivened by the appearance of some Allen keys and a small adjustable spanner, but it's not until the 4th act that we see our first 9mm cone ratchet. And of course, it goes without saying that...
Now, here we are. This is a specially built set which the BBC has used for its coverage of every May Day parade since 1953. Now, many of you will have seen it many times on the 6 and 9 o'clock news. But if we take a little detour around the back here, you can see it's just a two-dimensional facade painted on scenery made from chicken wire and sugar glass. And here are some more, look. The famous pyramid setting for the Arab-Israeli conflict in 1973. All nothing more than a few skillfully painted backdrops and a blob of polystyrene. All these effects are so convincing that a lot of viewers believe that the people and events on the news are actually real. Did you know that when Newsnight announced the death of Harold Macmillan, several viewers actually sent in wreaths and letters of sympathy? Well, that concludes today's tour, ladies and gentlemen. On our way out, there'll be a brief stop at the BBC gift shop, where, if it were open, you could buy a Radio 1 pension book cover, a cuddly Marmaduke hussy, or a BBC videotape of a well-known series you could have recorded off-air for nothing. Or why not try and visit the BBC canteen? Well, you'll find that out very quickly.
Yeah, OK, thanks. See ya. Bye. OK, who's next, please? Take a seat. There you go, lovely. All right. Now, how'd you like it then, sir?
If you could just take a couple of bells off at the sides
Right.
and tidy up the fringe.
OK.
Please.
Right. So, you're not at work today then, sir?
Just taking an hour off.
Uh-huh. And what is it you do then? Light engineering of some kind, or...?
No, I'm a fool.
Sorry?
I'm a professional fool. My official title is Master of Her Majesty's Jokes and Japes. Basically a court jester.
Oh, I didn't know they still had those. Of course, I prefer the surrealistic sight gags personally. You speak for yourself, darling.
As a royal jester, my duties begin quite early. On an average day, I'll arrive at the palace around 7:15 a.m.
Morning, Sir Michael.
Morning, Sir Michael.
Good morning. At 7:40 prompt, I enter the Duke of Edinburgh's bedroom just as he's getting dressed, and to the cry, "A pox on thy garboils, thy riggish ninny," I smack him 3 times on the bottom with a wet pig's bladder.
And he finds this amusing, does he?
No, he doesn't, I'm afraid. He takes a very dim view of it indeed. And usually summons a member of his security staff to hurl me bodily out of a 3rd-story window. Basically, both the Queen and Prince Philip are extremely embarrassed by my eccentric behaviour, and usually try to pretend I'm not there.
So, what exactly is about to happen now?
Well, inside this room, the Queen is holding a private audience with the acting High Commissioner of the Somali Republic. And I'm going to caper in, strumming the lute, and put a live chicken down his trousers.
Problem is that due to hereditary disease dating back to her German ancestors. The Queen possesses no sense of humour of any kind.
The inability of the Queen and her family to laugh at anything unless they are poked with a stick can be directly attributed to 100 years of relentless royal inbreeding. The present monarch and her husband, both great-great-grandchildren of the most miserable woman in history, are merely the latest examples of this bizarre phenomenon. Dr. Zog, how does this theory explain someone like the Duchess of York, who, to all intents and purposes, possesses a very lively sense of humour?
Ah, yes, she does. But this is all due to a special injection that we give her once every 4 hours, rather like nitrous oxide, which enables her to laugh like a simpleton at almost anything she sees. Could be a teapot, a lamppost, absolutely anything at all. Occasionally, the dosage gets a little bit too high, and then she has to be trussed up inside a sack until the effects have worn off.
Oh, no, Your Royal Highness, no, you don't want to take any notice of that rubbish that I do in my act. No, I'll just throw that in for a bit of fake credibility. I really hope that we can do this again sometime, you know. Perhaps yourself and His Royal Highness could...
So just shut up, all right, you bloody social parasite! Here, who are you looking at?
But it doesn't end there.
At 9 o'clock tomorrow night on BBC Two, a new documentary series that takes a frank and disturbing look behind the scenes in one of London's toughest establishments, Dial a Pizza.
What is it? Boyfriend trouble? What have we got so far?
Well, nothing much. Well, she knows you wanted ham, sliced tomato, green pepper, possibly some sweet corn, and after that, everything's hazy.
Don't tell me what I f***ing ordered. I f***ing asked for a f***ing Hawaiian surprise.
I am not telepathing!
For f***'s sake, he's got a knife and he's threatening to take out the mozzarella. I'm going to need extra pepperoni and extra pineapple out here fast before this thing really gets out of control.
It's all right, love. We just want to help you. Try and remember, what kind of seafood did he say? Was it prawn? Tuna? Anchovies?
No. They all look the same.
Open up! 50-pan mushroom supreme!
The morning after is a time for appraisal and self-assessment. There have been complaints from customers in Michael Miles Crescent after 2 delivery men broke down the family's front door and shot their grandmother. The shop say it was the kind of accident that often happens when you're delivering to vegetarians.
Dial a Pizza begins here on BBC Two at 9 o'clock tomorrow. And now on to sailing close to the wind with some more stuff and nonsense. He's the Archbishop of bad taste, the most irreverent Alexei Sayle. And this week's show opens with a little spoof featuring that marvellous character he plays, Monsieur Aubergine. And it contains an extremely funny visual joke that we're sure you'll find very, very amusing indeed. What happens is Monsieur Aubergine buys a glass of lager, but whilst his attention is distracted, picks up a goldfish bowl by mistake and hilariously drinks both the water and the fish inside it. It really is very, very funny, if you aren't expecting it. Monsieur Aubergine. Now, this This next bit's incredibly funny. To try and cover up what he's done, he pours the lager into the bowl and pops a crisp into it on which he's drawn an eye. Next week, there's more egg planted on the face of Monsieur Aubergine when he gets inside an old cupboard that's being loaded onto a truck under the mistaken impression that he's stepping into a lift and ends up being hilariously dumped off the cliff at Beachy Head. But now on BBC Two, Sarah Dunant with news of tonight's Late Show.
So, have you decided yet? Are you going skiing, or...?
Well, it depends if we can get the same chalet again. You know, as last year.
Oh, right. There was a group of you, wasn't there?
Yeah, just myself, Cliff Mitchell-Moore, Betty Boo, Michael Fish and Hannah Mandakova. We found this terrific place in Grindelwald that had been recommended to us by Ned Sherrin and Chief Boutalese when they were there. Oh, hang on. You're watching BBC One, and now we've the television premiere of Presumed Innocent, the gripping courtroom thriller that keeps you guessing right up to the end. When it's revealed that Harrison Ford didn't do it at all, it was, in fact, his wife. So, you know, it's still a bit up in the air at the moment, so what about you?
Yes, well, I've got to go skiing by the end of next week at the latest. Doctors now recognise that failure to go skiing at least twice a month can lead to leprosy and hardening of the testicles. So, I thought what I'd do is that... Here on BBC Two, in half an hour, highlights of the European Cup semi-final replay between Liverpool and AC Milan, which Liverpool won 3-2 after a last-minute penalty by Peter Beardsley. But first on to Call My Bluff, where the correct definitions were an Edwardian aphrodisiac, a wart found on the buttocks of Chris Montez, the nasty grey sludge you get when you put a walrus in a cement mixer, a large hooped petticoat worn by rabbis, and the sound made by a fish finger when it learns it's been elected Dean of All Souls, Cambridge. So, yeah, I ski downstairs twice a day now, and there's a group of us, you know, Donald Trelford, Ian Hislop, the Argu Khan, Elsie and Doris Waters, Pinky and Perky, the Islamic Jihad, Shanghai Sheikh, Michael Brunson, Annalie Drummond-Hay on Mr. Softy, Smokey Robinson and Miracles.
Hi there. In this week's stuff, we hope to look more at the workings of inner space, the workings of the mind. You know, Sherlock Holmes had a theory that the mind was finite, like an attic, and that facts were like boxes. And if you put too many in, then certain others would be pushed out. That's a really frightening thought, isn't it? That's why I try to learn nothing new. You might accidentally, right, learn some trivial, unimportant fact, right? And then you might forget how to do something really important, like walk or talk or go to the toilet. I mean, it's really important.
Alexei, Cardiff is the 4th largest port in the UK.
Oh, cheers, mate. So that's how it...
Out of the night, as bold as brass on a moped, he's truly mastered. He's fast when the gatehouse a B with his blade, a B that stands for bastard. Bastard. Alexei, he's never remotely bastard. See how he saves us all, the fat bastard. With the B that stands for bastard.
Oh, I like punching pigeons. Makes me mad when they pout and strut around. Whenever I see a widgeon or a dove, I'll get my gloves and invite them to go a stiff 5 rounds, a stiff 5 rounds. Oh, I like punching pigeons. Hi. I thought I'd let you a little more into my private life. This is actually my country home, funny name hall. And this is a room that I designed myself. This is the library. But literature is actually extremely important to me. At the moment, I'm reading some of Virginia Woolf's essays. Here we are. What We Did on Our Holidays, V. Woolf, 5C. Was in the showers with Vita Sackville-West. She said she'd lost the soap.
There's a fine to pay on that.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, shut up!
You know, reading is very important. I reckon if you read a lot, then you can become, like, dead good with, like, words, like what I am, amphibious landing craft. Some people say that reading a lot makes you pedantic. I say pedantic? Actually, mostly I read fiction. Train timetables, insurance policies, the warranty agreements on Ford Escorts, and, of course, holiday brochures. You know, it's a little-known fact that some of our greatest literary talents got their start writing for brochures of various kinds. For example, there's D.H. Lawrence's 1929 Grattan's catalogue, with its now notorious banned vegetable seed section. There's Harold Pinter's Crown Paints trade catalogue of 1959, containing only the word mincemeat, endlessly repeated. And, of course, there's this. The now very rare Thompson's Speedbird Holidays brochure, written by the young Salman Rushdie. Estoril town, situated on the delightful Estoril Peninsula, is a setting for opulent villas, tree-lined streets and formal gardens, where the carefree traveller can wander in peace and reflect on what a big fat bastard Buddha was.
What are you doing here, Mr. Spilsbury?
I've come for my protection money, if you please, Mr. Cray. A little matter of 1 4 halfpenny. That doesn't seem to have been paid according to my records.
Get out of our house, Mr. Spilsbury.
That's not very hospitable, is it, Harry the Hat? Not very sociable at all. I mean, it's a nice little place you've got here. I have to say. How many of you living in it? 13?
That's right, yeah.
Very cosy. Quite a happy little family. So, why don't we just settle this account like good little boys, and I'll be on my way, eh? What do you say, Mr. Cray? Well, now, I don't seem to have made myself very clear, gentlemen. I'm not a violent man by nature, but... Funny. Must be something wrong with my hearing. I could have sworn you just... I repeat.
What are the police doing about it all, I want to know?
Yes, well, unfortunately, it's not unusual to find this type of crime. It's not unusual to be fined at any time. If I find a case of this kind at any time, it's not unusual to blame their mama and papa.
This is an interesting place. Until it closed in March 1964, it was the world's top maximum security pet shop. Thousands of the country's most dangerous goldfish were brought here, along with dozens of baby turtles, rounded up by Scotland Yard's famous anti-terrapin squad. This is the actual rabbit hutch, where Nice Bunny Ricotto, alias Frank the Lettuce Leaf Madigan, was sentenced to life behind the wire netting in 1953 on 27 counts of twitching his nose. And next door is where the controversial 3-month-old kittens these scratching post for were sentenced in 1956 to the cat basket on charges of extortion, racketeering and blackmail, and also the armed robbery of a bullion van containing £25 million worth of gold bars, despite hard evidence from their family that they were, at the time of the crime, at the back of the airing cupboard, unravelling a sock. No hamster cage can hold me, was the proud boast of Fats McGinty. When he was transferred here in 1962 from the pet shop at the corner of Wilmington Road. 2 months later, using forged identity papers smuggled to him by an accomplice inside a piece of carrot, he managed to slip out of the shop unnoticed, disguised as the gas man. And in here was Coils McGrew, the black mamba, who escaped, posing as a very bad banana. But it was down this end of the shop in December 1961 that perhaps the most audacious breakout of all time happened, when Vincent Pretty Boy Marengo and his assistant Joey Stroud, the former anthropologist of Alcatraz, tunneled to freedom with their beaks, leaving behind 2 replica budgerigars, which they had spent 6 months nibbling out of an old piece of cuttlefish. In the mayhem that followed, here in the special confinement block known to the inmates as the fish tank, 3 guppies and a stickleback leapt out of the water and overpowered a customer using a homemade submachine gun. Once outside, they hijacked a herring and ordered it to fly them to Sydney, Australia, where they are now starring in their own television show.
Well, I got the results here of your examination, Mr. Willison, and I'm sorry to say they're not good. I'm afraid they're very bad indeed. So out you get. Come on, out you get. Bend over, come along. See if that doesn't bring about an improvement in your hemoglobin levels. Ah, Skinner. I thought I asked for all urine samples to be handed in by 9 o'clock this morning.
Yes, I know, Doctor, but
You hadn't done it, have you, Skinner?
I couldn't do it, sir, due to an impacted urethra.
Don't give me that, you little slacker. Come on, get up. Out you get. Come on, come on. Chop, chop, bend over. Come along. Stop snivelling, boy. Report to theatre this afternoon for prostate surgery. And get your hair cut. What's this? Emergency admission?
It's my husband, Doctor. He's got pains in his chest and he can't seem to breathe properly.
Have you been smoking, boy? Go to my office and wait outside for me.
Since it opted out of the health service to become a self-governing, grant-maintained grammar school, St Luke's Teaching Hospital, Gloucester, has never looked back, while its sister hospital at St Michael's, Cirencester, has found that greater profitability now comes from specialising not in heart and lung disorders, but in high-quality bed linen.
So, gentlemen, you've all made a thorough examination. What do you think?
Polyester and cotton mix, I should think. Probably colour fast at 40 degrees C.
Ironing?
Easy care with spray starch?
Don't you say anything else? Come on, man, quickly. I'll give you a clue.
Oh, it's reversible, with a coordinating pad on the back. With many hospitals opting out of the health service, the cash-starved English National Opera Company has taken the unusual step of opting in, enabling it to launch a major season of emergency operations live on stage at the London Coliseum.
What is it tonight, then?
Well, they got 2 tracheotomies and a tubal ligation during Act 1 of La Traviata. There's the gallbladder removal scene from Rigoletto. And then there's a selection of cantatas from Puccini performed under general anaesthetic. They're starting off with this one. Yeah, an emergency hernia repair during the love scene from Aida.
Blimey, he don't look too clever, do he?
No, well, they have been rehearsing with him for 3 months.
Well, if that's not to your taste, let's have a look at some of the other NHS services available in the box office diary. Until July the 15th at Sadler's Wells, you can have an artificial limb fitted by the Royal Ballet.
Oh, we like poking penguins, some penguin pokers us. When shown an arctic bird that looks quite absurd, we prod it with a digit thus, a digit thus.
Extra! Extra! London Goldfield corrupt! Excuse me. Good evening. And first, news of the Londonburg Goldfields corruption trial. This report from Martin Silverman, who's been following the case at the Old Bailey.
Court number 2 is packed today for the opening of a trial that's expected to rock the city. The chairman of LBG, Sir Roderick Naseby, stood impassively in the dock while the prosecuting counsel, Mr. Robert Lucas QC, outlined his case to the jury. The court then heard from Mr. Neville Chamberlain, author of The Munich Crisis, who, together with Mao Tse-tung, the founder of Communist China, said they had been shocked by Sir Roderick's behaviour. Cross-examining for the defence, Monsieur Hulot, just back from his holiday, embarked on a series of questions which were ruled out of order by Judge Dredd of the Queen's Bench Division. The disturbance then broke out in the public gallery, in which Dr. Death, the Jester, Captain Chaos, and the Thing from the Black Lagoon fired a series of atomic ray guns to blast the courtroom into a parallel dimension, resulting in them being restrained by Indiana Jones, Swamp Creature, Stretchy Man, Galaxy Girl, and Merman using his super ability to call up a shoal of electric eels and zap them all to death. The case resumes tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. I have a short statement to make as follows. At 1200 hours today, the enemy launched an attack on one of our installations by placing a vacuum cleaner nozzle against the mouse hole. We managed, fortunately, to take evasive action, and by switching the appliance from suck to blow, sent the enemy flying across the room like a rocket, through a kitchen colander, emerging on the other side like chips. Then out of the window and into the mouth of the family's guard dog, who was yawning at the time. There are unconfirmed reports that he then shot right down into the dog's tail, causing it to go cat-shaped.
You reported earlier that a captured mousetrap was successfully used against the enemy, causing his tongue to throb like an inflated balloon and flash on and off in the manner of a Belisha beacon. Were we able to exploit the situation at all?
Well, I can tell you that we snapped the enemy's eyelids up and down several times like a roller blind. But beyond that, I wouldn't want to be specific.
A lot of people would like to know, sir, if we're prepared to use ginger beer. And if so, how much?
2 bottles of ginger beer have been used here underneath the cooker in the kitchen. They were half-pint bottles, pre-shaken to a Spanish rumba rhythm like maracas, and I can say that we scored a direct hit with a cork in each eye.
So, returning to the earlier incident, we heard a rumour that the enemy was violently propelled into a large cast-iron skillet, causing him to vibrate back and forth for several seconds with his head in the shape of a frying pan.
No comment.
Sir, there have been advance reports that Sir, there have been advance reports that the maid with fat legs might launch a preemptive attack on us with her yellow broom. Do you know anything about that? Oh!
Get out of my kitchen, you little monsters! Go away with you!
This is my pet tomcat, Dexter. Say hello, Dex. Nah, he can't talk. You'd have to pay him far too much money. But you know, people always say that cats are very clean because they're always washing themselves. Cats aren't clean, they're just covered in cat spit. Nevertheless, I like animals, pets and that. And this is my latest pet. It's a chameleon, yeah. Notice how it uses its brilliant powers of protective coloration and camouflage to blend in with its environment. Fat lot of good that did, you smart-ass. I've also got another pet. That's also a reptile. It's an iguana. People say that people often come to resemble their pets. I don't think that's true. As I say, my main pet is a tomcat. And something really funny happens when you tell women that you've got a tomcat. They all say the same thing. They all say, haven't you had him done yet? You say, what? They say, haven't you had his nuts nipped off? I say, no, I was going to leave him alone, you know. They all say, haven't you had him done yet? And they all start making up these terrible lies about what'll happen if you don't get your cat's balls chopped off. They say, oh, he'll spray everywhere, or he'll claw all the furniture, or he'll start leaving bombs in supermarkets. Oh, we like pissing on puppets. Shut up!
Watch out, you better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees when you are sleeping, he knows when you're awake, he knows if you've been good or bad.
In June 1954, failure to believe in Father Christmas was still considered the most heinous of thought crimes, and those children who had been bad were to pay dearly. Dragged away to his Arctic workshops, many were never seen or heard of again. These rare home movies, taken at a secret retreat with his girlfriend, the former wood nymph Nixie, in July that year, belie the terrifying purges that Claus was instigating behind the scenes, leaving the way clear for his absolute power. 2 months earlier, his chief rival and architect of the stockings on bedposts policy, Uncle Holly, had been imprisoned without trial for daring to go ha 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 instead of ho ho ho. Worse was to follow. In the period of terror that began that summer, Frosty the Snowman, Robin Redbreast, and Figgy Pudding, once his closest allies, were all dragged from their beds by the secret police and executed by firing squad. In a last desperate throw of the dice, he was now hatching secret plans to construct an alliance of terror. This Christmas card, issued in 1953, has been skillfully retouched from the original, which shows Father Christmas meeting Haitian dictator Papa Doc Duvalier. But these shots in 1956 of Claus at the traditional parade of the Clockwork fire engines were the last time he was to be seen alive in public. Just 3 weeks later, his close colleagues broke it to him that he didn't in fact exist. He never had existed. He was just a figment of folklore and fairy tale.
I don't think he ever recovered from it. It was a shattering blow for someone. He never did get over it.
Mr. Christmas.
Imagine being told that your whole life was one long piece of make-believe after all he'd been doing.
Mr. Christmas.
Yes?
Presumably, if he didn't exist, then neither do you, and there isn't much...
This man is about to go to bed. But is he being careful? These could smolder. That was rather careless, wasn't it? That was just plain stupid. Dear, dear, dear. What a foolish thing to do. Hey, you. Haven't you forgotten something? Weren't you going to fit a smoke alarm? That's better. Now you're ready for anything.
That was a public information.
Out of the night, as bold as brass on a moped, he's truly mastered. Spat in the gatehouse, a B with his blade, a B that stands for bastard. Bastard. Alexei, he's never remotely bastard. See how he saves us all, the fat bastard. With a B that stands for bastard.
You know, when I first came down to London from up north, I thought the streets were paved with gold. But as it turns out, they're paved with kebabs. It's weird, isn't it? You have a few drinks and what you most fancy is a lump of congealed lamb fat on a stick that's been heated up 60 or 70 times. I mean, if they were trying to create botulism in a lab, they'd do it like that, wouldn't they? No, personally, when I've had a few drinks, I prefer Mexican food. You know, guacamole, refried beans, stuff like that. But you see, with Mexican food, it looks like you've been sick already. I mean, you don't buy Mexican food, you rent it. Can I have a burrito supreme, please? Yeah, well, we're just waiting for somebody to throw it up and then bring it back, all right? Fair enough, yeah, right.
You know, there's a cliche about Chinese restaurants, isn't there? That if a Chinese restaurant's full of Chinese people, then it must be an absolutely brilliant restaurant. Well, that's nonsense, isn't it? I mean, that means that a little chef's a brilliant restaurant because it's full of English people. What does it mean if a French restaurant's full of Australian Aboriginals? And what does it mean if an Indian restaurant's full of, like, giant snakes and 20-foot lizards and big scorpions? That usually means I've had too much to drink. I'm very interested in the East, you know, the East and its philosophies. I studied with Buddhists. That's why I'm so calm. Yeah. I studied with Buddhists. I went to Tibet. Studied with Buddhists. I studied for a GCSE in electronic engineering. I also learned to drive at the BSM, the Buddhist School of Motoring. But I failed my test, yeah, because I didn't look in my mirror before achieving nirvana.
Up there in the cathedral tower!
Well, see how he rings the bell! They say he's the ugliest man in all France!
He's overrun with demons!
There on the balcony.
Oh, he's bewitched!
Oh, God, not again.
Go away!
Is that the
think they'd get bored eventually, wouldn't you? Will you please go home? There's nothing to see here. It's all very boring. Just go away.
What did he say? He can't hear a thing. The bells have made him deaf.
They say he can't talk. All he can do is grunt like an animal.
Look, I'm extremely busy. I've got a lot of bell ringing to do.
The bells! The bells!
I really do.
Hey, please!
See how he lumbers away like a frightened woodcock!
The man's a misshapen latwit. He can do naught but cluck like a chicken.
I'm getting a bit pissed off with this.
Mad cripple of the cathedral.
The hunchback! The hunchback!
I'm not a hunchback. Don't you understand? I'm not a hunchback. Look.
The hunchback! The hunchback!
All right, have it your own way. Esmeralda, where's the cushion?
Back to his lair in the belfry.
To his secret lair among the bars!
Right, you satisfied now? Can I get in with my bell ringing, please?
The oil! The oil! He prepares to drown us all with a cauldron of boiling oil!
Give me strength. Esmeralda, do we have any boiling oil?
Why on earth would we keep boiling oil in a bell tower?
I don't know. They just seem to expect it for some reason.
We've got some cooking, Sherry.
That'll do. Come on, here we go. Behold, so perish all those who tried the wrath of the hunchback.
Have they all gone, darling?
I'm not sure. I think there's one still there.
What's your Clive? How you doing?
Fine, thanks.
Morning, Mr. James.
Morning.
All right, Clive.
Yeah, super, thanks, mate. It's amazing the number of people who mistake me for Clive James. In fact, we're very different. I mean, Clive James, he tries to flaunt his erudition at every opportunity, doesn't he? He gets cheap, easy laughs off foreigners on his television programme. And in the past, he's written suck-up poetry to the royal family. Whereas me, well, I try and be modest about my intellectual achievements. I hate any form of privilege, especially the royal family. And I savagely puncture pomposity wherever I find it, regardless of personal cost. In other words, I prick pretension, but Clive James is a pretentious prick.
Good evening. And to see how that would be reflected across the country, over to Peter Snow.
Thank you, Peter. And of course, it's early days yet. We've still only had that one good evening, but if we feed it into the computer, then look, here it comes. 60 million of them, right across the country. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. And in that case, that would mean tomorrow morning, Paddy Ashdown would be in Downing Street, lying in the middle of the road with a bottle of meth, singing, "I'm just a girl who can't say no." He'd be dragged away by the police, as with the whole of Britain. Look, there it goes, being towed away into the Atlantic Ocean, past the finishing post. And here I go, too, being towed away into the ocean.
Thank you, Peter. And now we're going straight over to Westminster, where we've been joined by the Secretary of State for Hats, Dr. Rhodes Boyson. Dr. Boyson, it's estimated that as many as 4.5 million people now travel into London every day in a hat. But so far, the government has announced plans to put up 3 new pegs on the wall at Brent Cross. Isn't this a question of too little, too late?
We seem to be having one or two technical problems there. So let's hear what Londoners in the street had to say when we asked them earlier today about the problems of hat congestion in central London.
I left my hat on the windowsill, right? Of course, I come back, it's been clamped.
I think the answer lies in a greater emphasis on headgear conservation. So I would like to see more hat-sharing schemes wherever possible.
And we interrupt this report now, as I gather we've now sorted out those gremlins at Westminster, and we can now return to Dr. Rhodes Boyson. Dr. Boyson, are you hearing me all right now?
I'm sorry, we seem to be experiencing 1 or 2 problems on that one, but in the meantime, let's turn to education and the new government-sponsored survey issued earlier today. Our political correspondent, Eleanor Winfrey, has been studying the details. Eleanor.
The latest national survey from the University of London makes very disturbing reading indeed. 65% of all 1991 GCSE results show a 14-degree drop against last year, even allowing for correction to the standard curve of distribution, which shows the usual positive skew towards the typical cluster of scores at the upper end of the scale, is reversed.
clearly showing lower mean division bands, fewer pass results, and a corresponding downturn in university entry standards.
Well, I'm sorry about those problems we had earlier with Dr. Rhodes Boyson, but I'm pleased to say he's now been completely pumped full of helium gas to the size of a barrage balloon and is floating in the sky high above the Palace of Westminster. So let's go straight over now and join him. Dr. Rhodes Boyson, your comments, sir.
Hey, you! I'm talking to you. Is your child safe in there, all on his own? Are you absolutely sure? You checked that all dangerous objects were well out of reach? So, nothing can go wrong? Wait! Can you hear a noise?
Was a public information thing.
Oh, now, this was when we went to Earth for a few days. Oh, we had a few laughs there, didn't we? Talk about rat-arsed. Is that me? Yeah, it's you pissing about on the roof of the rocket. Oh, God, this was a laugh. Oh, yeah, coming into hyperdrive. There's 5 of us, right, bombing through the ionosphere, giving it plenty. Splacklick's honey goes and drives the saucer right through the sodding ozone layer.
Look at that! Every planet he does that, you can't take him anywhere.
So, go on, now what we're going to do, right? Sodding great. Oh, well. Then we remembers that Oplumzog's mum and dad are on a package deal. One of them quiet transmutation breaks, you know, where a couple of families form themselves into giant pods and take over the body of a local scientist for a weekend.
Really boring looking to me.
Anyway, I'll telepath some what's happened. Quick as a flash, Oblomzog's dad says, no sweat, we'll make out it's the locals what done it. He metamorphoses himself into a speaker at an ecological conference.
There he is, look, second on the left. Makes a good earthling, doesn't he?
You know what? Bang 'em the old chlorofluorocarbons crap, atmospheric depletion, all that nonsense, right? Like we did when we got pissed and smashed up the Crab Nebula last summer. I never know the difference. Here, who's that fat bastard? I'm very interested in theology and the comparative study of religions. Now, many religions actually believe that God is omnipresent, that God is everywhere. Well, if that's true, then I reckon that God is 5 Sikhs in a red Toyota estate. I mean, you're driving down the M1, there they are, middle lane, 5 Sikhs, red Toyota estate. You're driving down the M53, there they are, 5 Sikhs, red Toyota estate. You're driving down the M56, there they are, middle lane, 5 Sikhs, red Toyota estate. The only time that God changes his form, in fact, is when he's on a train, when he's in his trainicular form. Then God is 5 squaddies with a big pile of McEwen's lager cans. Many religionists also believe that God is omniscient, that God is all-knowing. Well, I don't know if that's true. I mean, recently, actually, God appeared to me. Yes, God appeared to me. All right, it was half-price Bailey's Irish Cream night. God appeared to me, and in his hands, he had all the separate bits of an MFI flat-pack wardrobe. And God spoke to me, right? God spoke to me, and he said, how the bloody hell do you get these bloody things to fit together? Many fundamentalist Christians also believe that every word of the Bible is literally true and that the Bible is the only book that you need for everyday life. Well, I certainly think that that is true. I mean, here we are. Epistles, chapter 12, verse 14. How to throw together a strawberry mousse when unexpected guests arrive. And here we have St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians on how to repair the gearbox of a Vauxhall Cavalier. Also, here we have my bank statement. The week ending October the 29th. I actually went to the bank recently because I wanted a loan. I said to the bank manager, I want to borrow some money. He said, OK, but first I'll have to check your balance. I said, fair enough. And he lent me £1 billion, squillion, trillion pounds, which in those days was a lot of money.
Welcome back, and we've been joined in our Glasgow studio now by a laughing sailor. Sir, your reaction to today's big story? thank you. And I have to stop you there because we're just getting news in that Mr. Herbert Cretis of Winchelsea in Kent is going a bit loopy. Our reporter on the spot is Jethro Stickinsect. Jethro, what exactly is happening there as we speak?
Well, it's been pretty quiet for about half an hour here now, Peter. We know that Mr. Cretis is in his house, and we do know that he's going a bit loopy. Other information, still a bit sketchy, I'm afraid. We don't yet know how loopy, or indeed if he's decided to make an appearance in a loopy fashion of some kind, as, for example, a Mrs. Neris Spivey of Houndsloaded when she went loopy and joined the Treorchy male voice choir to serenade a turnip. There's been some speculation that he might do something loopy involving gravy, which apparently he has several large tanks of in his spare bedroom, but I must stress that these are as yet totally unconfirmed reports, and we don't have any
Just a minute. What is that?
What?
What is that behind you?
What?
No, sorry, I thought we just saw something in the upstairs window there. I beg your pardon.
Oh, right. And so, as it doesn't look as if there are any developments imminent, it's back to you now, Peter, in the Westminster studio.
There are 8 essential amino acids. Isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, valine, and tryptophan. Why? Is it fat, bald and Jewish in here? Or is it me? I'll tell you one thing I'm really sick of, though, and that's the environment. I mean, I'll be glad to see the back of it myself. But I'm still very much into this alternative medicine. At the moment, I'm into reflexology. Now, what happens with reflexology is that they cure you by massaging your feet, because your feet apparently control, like, the body and everything. You know, your big toe controls your heart and your liver, your middle toe controls your digestion, and your little toe controls the telly. Need any help at all, madam?
Yes. I'd like to take one of these, if you've got one, please.
Yes, I think we've got one of those in stock. Just wait a second. Got an account with us?
I do, yes.
Smashing. If you're having trouble, don't hesitate to ring it down.
Oh, thank you very much. That's lovely. Come on, then, off we go.
Excuse me.
Yes, can I help you at all, sir?
Well, I bought this camera here yesterday, and I don't know if I'm being stupid or what, but I don't seem to be getting any joy out of it.
The Hirohito XLF autofocus, yes, sir. Well, what seems to be the problem?
Well, as far as I can tell, I've done everything it says. I've installed the batteries, I've fitted the lens, I've placed it in the middle of Wigan High Street and backed my car over it, but it just doesn't seem to want to work.
Ah, now, sir, I know why that is. You see, that, unfortunately, is a printing mistake in the user's manual, yes. You see here, on this slip of paper, erratum, page 2, section 4, the paragraph beginning, carefully place camera in the middle of Wigan High Street and back your car over it, should read, carefully load film in subdued light.
I didn't see that.
I know a lot of people miss the errata, don't they? You know, you have to be so careful. There's another one. Look, there's quite a few in this book, actually, yes. Page 12, line 3, should read, depress shutter key speed until bar appears over desired drive mode. And not as printed here, place your left leg down the throat of a Bengal tiger and flick it repeatedly on the nose with your index finger.
Oh, God, that's what I was doing wrong.
Oh, you have to be so careful. Look, there's another one in here, look. Page 16, the section on shutter priority, where it says construct a replica of Robert Robinson's genitals out of Play-Doh and wave them at a chartered surveyor. It should say correct speeds will be selected automatically by the camera.
It's so easy to miss, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
So what do I do now?
Well, let's see. Oh, there's an erratum concerning that as well, yes. Page 35, complaints, line 4, where it says, simply stick your head through a 26-inch television screen and squawk like an ostrich. This, of course, should read, simply stick your head through a 28-inch television screen and squawk like Gloria Hunniford.
All right.
Yes. Ooh, how about this one here?
Yes, please.
OK.
Bloody Gloria Hunniford again. What's on the other side?
Hang on.
Kay!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, up on the hill to your right, you can see the Chateau Marmont Hotel, the hotel where John Belushi, the film star, died of a massive drugs overdose on March 5th, 1982. The drugs he had been taking were morphine, heroin, speed, pot, coke, lubes, acid, dans, and acroids. And he had 5 fresh needle scars on each arm just inside the elbow.
And as we make a right onto Sunset, folks, you can see the famous grill where Marilyn Monroe stood with her skirt in the air. Little guessing that 7 years later, she'd be found slumped dead in a motel room with 3 bottles of lethal barbiturates in her stomach.
Well, on a lighter note, behind the house we're just passing, a simple headstone marks the spot where Andy Devine, the man with the famous wheezing voice from all those old westerns, was buried peacefully in 1938.
Right, a particularly unpleasant end as he was still alive at the time, due to an error in the federal statute book.
Now, just up ahead of us, next to the place where the lovely Tippi Hedren had her head welded to a fire hydrant by a deranged shoe salesman, is the fabled corner there of Hollywood and Vine, where the incandescent beauty Elizabeth Taylor was plowed into by a speeding bus, catapulted 20 feet into the air, and crash-landed headfirst amongst a coachload of pea-brained assholes. Nice of you to drop in, Liz!
And falling onto the wheels right now are Vic Damone and Gregory Peck, who were unfortunate enough to be crossing the street in front of us.
Hey, but get those cameras ready, folks. Just up ahead, I think I see international singing star Liza Minnelli. If we step on it, we may be just in time to blow her brains out.
Prepare to meet your mom, Liza.
Hey, you there. What the deuce do you think you're doing?
Yes, I said you. Having a nice picnic? Sure everything is all right? Well, look again. Picnicking on a railway line can cause nuisance, delays for other travelers, and is downright foolish.
Look, why don't you sod off and stop bothering people? Who do you think you are? God?
I'm the voice of reason, and you're not being very reasonable, are you? Picking up that crossbow is plain senseless. Have you stopped to consider how dangerous it might be if it were...
That was a public information film.
The problem of incompatible competing electronic systems is one that many software companies have to contend with. We all remember, for example, the audio cassette versus the audio cartridge. And, of course, the VHS video cassette versus the Betamax, which, due to an unfortunate design fault, many people often mistook for a box of Terry's All Gold chocolates. Now companies will have to decide between 2 more systems when it comes to high-definition television. The RTEL Advanced Resolution System being developed in Europe by the Philips Corporation, and the XD Extra High Definition System being developed by ants. It's long been acknowledged that ants are the most industrious and organised of creatures. And nowhere is this more true than here in the Mauritanian hinterland. For here, amazing as it may seem, inside this single anthill, millions of wood ants, under the guidance of their queen, are constructing solid-state silicon chip-based circuit boards as used in integrated CD systems. Using complex sticky secretions to communicate their different tasks to each other, the workers and males in this brood are able to construct complete video crystal encoding units at the rate of 1 every 40 seconds. Putting their production capacity on a par with even the most efficient human manufacturing industry. But if the ants' production rate is impressive, their distribution system is even more formidable. The truck in this film is not running on petrol, but is being carried at high speed by 60,000 army ants underneath each tyre. Because they are just 100,000th the size of a human being, ants in the electronics industry can produce some amazing examples of miniaturization. For example, here is a compact video player. And here is an integrated CD and hi-fi unit with, of course, twin speakers here and here. And this is the remote control. Of course, there's nothing new about insects manufacturing a product that man wants to buy. Bees like the ones in these hives have for years been producing an endless supply of cheap quartz analog watches. As a result, with the emergence of these vast hordes of bugs and parasites as a major economic world power, Western businessmen are now forced to socialize with top insect marketing executives in order to court their favor.
今日本では、アリの労使関係についての研究が大変進んでおります。例えば、労使問題が解決しない。この場合は匂いをぶっかけてこれを解決する。解雇すれば、大金の解雇金が必要である。だけどもアリの社会においては象のような鼻をした動物にこれを全部吸わしちまう。ね。なんといっても我々はね、バカの集まりがこれが人間の社会なんですよ。なんだこりゃ。俺にこれ何を出しとるこれ。つまらんくさして。何だこれ。これ何ともとる。
Madam, I wonder how you feel about the fact that the product you just bought was made by workers in Nicaragua crawling about on lumps of rotting leaf mould for a weekly wage of less than half a dead cockroach.
I'm afraid I have no comment to make on that, as I am technically brain dead. You got anything by Rick Astley at all?
One of the most interesting facts about stuff is that there's a lot more of it about these days. For example, in 1412, there was only 108 things in all of England, and the king had 87 of them. And even in 1852, there were only 1,000 of thingies in the entire county of Rutland, of which 112 be steam-driven thingies and 17 be big vegetable thingies. These days, there's millions and millions of things all over the place, the most superfluous of which is probably talk. All-day news channels, chat shows, magazines. People seem to think that more and more talk is a good thing. But what you're all ignoring is it's all so sodding boring. The world would be a better place if certain folk just shut their face. Jonathan Ross, shut up! Noel Edmonds, shut up! John Sessions, shut up! Nick Ross, shut up! Victoria Gillick, shut up! Judy Spears, host of Daytime UK on BBC One, for God's sake, just blooming well, shut up! Sebastian Coe, shut up. John and Peter Snow, shut up.
We've just bought a cottage along the French coast.
Shut up.
On Sunday, we have vegetable sushi instead of a roast.
Shut up!
Our new telly's got Nicam, Skycam, Oracle Text.
Shut up!
Do you like my blues on? I got it from Next.
Shut up! Gloria Honeyford, shut up. Nigel Kennedy, shut up. Claire Rayner, shut up. Emlyn Hughes, shut up. The Metropolitan Bishop of Nicosia, just put a sock in it, mate, all right. Michael Frayn, shut up. Carla Lane, shut up. Nicholas Witchell, shut up. Lloyd Grossman, David Frost, the entire bloody panel on Through the Keyhole, for God's sake, belt up.
If you're going to San Francisco...
Shut up!
I did 120 backwards round the M25.
Shut up!
We've been to see Phil Collins over 50 times live.
Shut up!
Those comedians and comic relief, they really do care.
Shut up!
I got this baked potato shampoo from the Body Shop. It's great for the hair.
Julie Birchall, shut up. Emo Phillips, shut up. Stephen Fry talking movingly about his decision to remain celibate. Shut up. Alan Corran, Josie Lawrence, Ian McCaskill, Michael Aspel, Michael Winner, Dennis Skinner, Michael Whale, JJ Cale, Alexei Sayle. Shut up!
If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch.
Shut up!
Now on BBC One, our children's programmes continue with another edition of The Two Lone Rangers and Two Tontos.
flash of light, a fiery steed, and a hearty flash of light, a fiery steed, and a hearty hi-hi-ho-ho silver, as the two Lone Rangers ride again.
Stagecoach passed this way, Kemosabis. 3 minutes ago. 2 men. 1 woman.
That'll be them, Tonnos. We better get down to Grandma Cody's ranch before the Miller boys get to her and... What was that?
Grandma Cody's.
What have they done to you?
Hip, hip, hooray for the long-awaited decision to rescreen the 2 Lone Rangers and 2 Tontos. For too long, programme planners have blatantly ignored viewers like me who like to see each part being played simultaneously by 2 actors. Perhaps now we can look forward to another showing of those classic series from the 60s. Wee Claudius and 2 Men in a Suitcase.
For God's sake, why do we have to have so many shows on television like the 2 Lone Rangers and 2 Tontos? Anyone would think that fans of arbitrary character duplication were the only members of the viewing public that mattered. What about the rest of us who believe in 1 part, 1 actor, up a telegraph pole? I know for a fact that many episodes of Dixon of Dock Green were recorded in this way. So come on, BBC, how about it?
Evening all. Anyone seen young Jimmy around?
Sorry, George, not since he went out earlier with Sergeant Lauderdale.
Hold your horses. Here's Lordy now.
Evening, George. Got some bad news. Jimmy's been run over by a bus.
Oh, my God! When will the BBC end its daft obsession with people up telegraph poles and spare a thought for its more elderly licensed pairs whose interests lie in a quite different area? I'm sure I can't be the only viewer who would welcome another chance to see that classic drama serial, The Barchester Chronicles, with everyone in a teacher's suit.
You're looking flushed today, are you not, my dear daughter? Am I, Mother?
Dear BBC, that's quite enough pandering to the taste of the lunatic minorities who are always writing in to complain about television programmes. Can we please, please, please just go back to the old shows that we know and love, like Alexei Sayle, with all his alternate speeches spoken by Salvador Dali.
The motor car. That's something I'm really into. Cars.
Also, the coconuts that rain upon the artificial eggs of a zeppelin.
Well, I must admit, I'm actually a very wild, aggressive sort of a driver. And that's probably because I learnt to drive at the BTM, the British Telecom School of Motoring. I don't know if you've noticed this, but the new logo for BT is actually the picture of a man leaping out the way of a speeding Montego van that's driving along the pavement. You know, it's like...
And I am a stricken bathrobe with ovaries made of Smarties.
I always go to the motor show. There's such an attitude of self-delusion at the motor show. You see all these guys and they're trying to look like they're seriously thinking about buying a new Ferrari, you know. Except you can tell that they've bought all their clothes at Top Man of Warsaw. But the only thing that they can afford at the motor show is them stickers. Them stickers that you put on the back window of your car, you know. Them stickers that say things like, windsurfers are stupid bastards. Young farmers have sex with pigs. And we've been to hospital. I go to all them shows at Earls Court, though. I really like the trade and technology shows. You know, the shows like CrapX 91, the annual exhibition of muck and manure spreading technology. That's a very good one. Lovely hors d'oeuvres they do in the show tent, you know. But the other thing I really like to go to is them vintage car rallies. It's funny, when you see people sitting in vintage cars, they have this, like, really weird expression on their faces. It's as if they've been sitting in an outside toilet and the outhouse has blown down around them, you know, and they're all sitting there like...
Cut. Very good. That's a print. Thank you very much indeed, everyone.
At 25, Alexei Sayle is already regarded by his peers and commoners alike as the finest and most successful comedian England has ever produced. It's an opinion he wholeheartedly shares. Earlier this year, he was offered a 6-picture deal at Warner Brothers that would have made him the world's highest-paid comedy performer. He turned it down to come back to Acton, London, to make another series of his television show, Stuff,
for £7.50 plus tips. It's a decision that says everything about the man. It says, what a right dick. We took a ride aboard the making of the 6th episode of this, the 3rd and final series in the Alexei Sayle Stuff trilogy.
Do you know what they're paying me? I mean, it's a serious joke. Ugly fat bastard like him. He eats too much. He's not funny. 3 sodding commercials. Have my head tested. Okay, Lex, mate. Ready when you are. Ugly bastard.
The night is bold as brass on a moped, he's truly mastered. He's past renegade house of B with his blade, a B that stands for bastard. Bastard, Alexei, he's never remotely bastard. See how he saves us all, the fat bastard.
Monday morning, 9 o'clock, and work has already begun on this week's show. Because of a clause in Sayle's contract, all production staff must be graduates of the Royal College of Dental Surgeons. One more example of the star's obsessive quest for perfection.
I'm ringing from the Alexei Sayle show. We just wondered if you'd mind us coming round to film a sketch on your front room carpet next Thursday evening round... Alexei Sayle. Well, he's a kind of alternative comedian and he does a show for the BBC with various... Sorry? The BBC? Well, it's a kind of public service broadcasting organisation serving the population of Britain and governed by... Britain? It's a kind of island of ancient Celtic origin in the northern hemisphere of the planet Earth. Earth? Well, it's a sort of small temperate satellite locked in orbit around the sun about 93 million miles away. The sun? Well, it's a sort of helium-based stellar body in a state of helical spin near the centre of the Milky Way. The Milky Way? Well, it's a sort of elliptical galactic star cluster roughly 2 million light-years away from the Messier 31 Andromeda spiral. That's him, yes. All right. Sorry to have troubled you then. Bye.
I'm actually something of a disaster area in relationships. I always seem to want the ones who don't want me. Like Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He said we could be friends. He said we can go roller skating, Alexei. Oh, my goodness, watch out! I also had a secret affair with my best friend's wife, until she found out about it. But it's kind of sad for me these days, because a lot of my friends, they used to be like a really wild gang, you know, and now they've gone really straight and boring. I've got this one mate, I mean, he used to be like a really raving atheist, you know, hated everything to do with religion. Now, he's suddenly become a big wheel in the church. Now he's primate of all Ireland. Primate? That's some kind of chimp, isn't it? The thing that really messes people up is having kids, you know. When you've got these friends, great couple, beautiful clothes, nice car, live in a smart part of London, somewhere like Hampstead. Don't know if you know Hampstead, but when people in Hampstead are drowning, all their previous furniture passes in front of them. You don't see them for a couple of years, then they've got a couple of kids. They've moved to a bungalow in the suburbs of Reykjavik. They're covered in baby puke, and they say, oh, having a baby is just the most beautiful experience in the world. Oh, yeah, sure. A baby costs a fortune to bring up. It craps all over the house, and when it grows up, it's only going to turn into the Aylesbury axe murderer anyway. I really think it's obscene, you know, talking about children. I think it's obscene to spend so much money on fertility research when the last thing that the world needs is more children. That's not a joke, by the way, it's just opinion, you know. See, I've gone beyond jokes. I've gone beyond, like, just funny. You know what I mean? It's like me and Woody Allen. I mean, we are way beyond funny, me and Woody. What we're trying to do, me and Woody, we're trying to make you think, like. We're trying to make you think. We're trying to make you think, bloody hell, that's not funny.
we're burying alive the novelist and dramatist, Malcolm Bradbury.
Hello.
Malcolm, you were born in Sheffield. Did your background as a Yorkshireman colour your outlook on life in your books and plays?
To some extent, yes, but I've worked a great deal, both here and overseas at universities, and this has tended to broaden out any parochial perspective that may have existed.
You're known as one of the sharpest and most penetrating social satirists living in Britain today. What kind of pressure does this create?
Well, I don't think one can ever stop to consider those forces, Sue. One simply has to immerse oneself in one's work and hope that it has the capacity to reach people.
Malcolm Bradbury, thank you. Next week, we'll be burying alive the writer and broadcaster Claire Rayner. Till then, good night.
Laurel and Hardy, two of my heroes. You know, there's a strange chemistry that often exists between double acts. For example, at the end of the working day, Oliver Hardy would rush off to play golf, while Stan Laurel slaved long into the night, editing scripts, cutting film, plotting camera shots, and so on. And the same's true of Roy Rogers and Trigger. Trigger would spend hours working on scripts, while Roy went temping bowling. And the same is also true of our own Hale and Pace. At the end of a long day's filming, Gareth Hale rushes off to play several games of squash, and Norman Pace goes with him, which is why their show's so awful.
Sitting in the pub, quietly reading Proust, sipping on a lager and fermented mango juice. Your heart is like there's not a care in your head. Then you hear those words that fill you with dread. Oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at. Ow! Oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at me? Working in the lab, late one night, Alexander Fleming spied a terrible sight. The penicillin started moving about, and then the bacilli began to shout. Oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at Jim? Aliens came down with a message for the human race. They called our leaders for a meeting face to face. The thing they wanted to say to all mankind was projected telepathically into 1,000 minds. Oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at Earth. Oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at space. Went to the National Gallery the other day. The still lifes and the landscapes all looked okay. But when I got to the Gainsboroughs, things weren't so swell, as all the portraits began to yell. Oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at how? Oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at art? Boswell and Pepys were the greatest diarists in the land. They met one day in a coffee house in the Strand. Boswell said to Pepys, as a diarist, you're my number one choice. Pepys said to Boswell in a low, dangerous voice, oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at, sir? Oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at, oh, you looking at me? Here, who you looking at?
I've taken the liberty of inviting along our new head of marketing, Mr. Gold, so that he can put forward his own proposals for our new projected expansion programme over the next 18 months. Ask Mr. Gold to come in, would you, Miss Chadwell?
Is something the matter?
Just waiting for the new marketing director.
Yes, that's me.
Oh. You look rather different to what we were, Sorry?
Different to what?
Nothing. Right, I thought this morning we'd
different to
start
what?
by...
What am I supposed to look like?
It's nothing. It's just that with a name like Gold, we all assumed you were Jewish.
Oh, well, I'm not. Sorry, what was the...
Wonderful. Jewish humour. Anyway, everyone, to business. Right, perhaps you'd like to outline your projected primary proposal.
The primary projections were... For goodness sake, I'm not Jewish. I never will be. Don't you understand? I'll prove it. You can look it up in the book. Come on, where's your copy of Who's a Jew? Right, okay, well, here we are. Simon David Gold. Good God, you're right, I am Jewish. This is right here under Gerald Goldham.
What did I tell you?
Hang on a minute, that's you.
What?
You're Jewish as well.
Oh, who would have thought it? Peter, you're down here as well, and you, Gillian. In fact, we're all Jewish.
Oh, you could never tell, could you? Did you realise that Thomas the Tank Engine was Jewish? Apparently his real name is Tomasevich Tankenstein. That's an emigre from the Trans-Siberian Railway. Right now, yeah, this is a real interesting shot here, where we see, or we think we see, Alexei sitting in a chair, but in actual fact, this is just part of the magic of TV, as obviously we couldn't have him sitting in a real chair, or the cost would be phenomenal, and the chair would splinter like matchsticks. So what we do is we build a model of the chair to make what we call a mat of the chair, and then we film a shot of Alexei pretending to sit in a chair, but in reality, he's not sitting on anything at all. And then by marrying the two images, we get the effect you saw earlier. So you really believe he's actually sitting in a chair. Now, another of our special effects, or tricks of the trade, if you will, is something called a glass mat. Now, these are used a lot in TV these days, and I want you to see if you can spot the glass mat in this next scene.
One of the things I remember from being a kid in Liverpool is that a lot of the other kids were fussy eaters. I mean, their mothers seemed to take pride in encouraging them in finicky, niggly eating habits, you know. I mean, for instance, the family next door to us, the youngest son wouldn't eat anything boiled or fried. The daughter wouldn't eat anything green or fresh. And the eldest son wouldn't eat anything at all unless the novelist and critic Anthony Burgess was sitting down to tea with them. Mind you, I have to watch what I eat myself because, for example, cheese never agrees with me. No. Every time I go into the supermarket, all the cheese shouts, "You're a bloody liar, Alexei! You're a sodding, lying, stupid bastard! You're completely wrong about the Kurdish question, you are, Alexei!" Of course, my main problem is that I drink too much. I mean, the longest I ever went without a drink was about 1.5 miles. The main reason I drink too much, well, I blame metrication, you see. I get confused between litres and pints and inches and stuff like that. For example, a few weeks ago, I said to a mate of mine, I said, "A metre, that's about 4.5 miles, isn't it?" He said, "No, it's approximately 3 feet." I said, "Oh, blimey, I thought it took me a long time to pull me curtains."
And just a quick reminder of those birthday honours again. The broadcaster and satirist Dame Paddy Ashdown is to be knighted, and also garroted using various instruments of medieval torture dating back to the Inquisition. Also named in the honours list are Miss Pauline Collins, who is to be made into a concrete girder at the foot of a North Sea oil rig, and Alan Titchmarsh, who becomes a nasty smell under the floorboards. The heavyweight boxer, Miss Esther Ranson, for her work with mentally retarded consumer show presenters, is to become a small drip at the end of someone's nose. Mr. James Anderton, lead singer with the Fine Young Cannibals, is also recognised. He's to receive the carcass of a rotting octopus in his bath for his performance as one of the gorillas in the mist. As too is Mr. Nigel Havers, who is to become the subject of the world's first live autopsy. Eric Bristow, the editor of the Daily Star, is to be given a seat in the house of Mrs. Audrey Sputum, which the cat recently crapped on. And there are live scorpions down the underpants for Malcolm Rifkind and Dame Paddy Ashdown, the broadcaster and satirist. Finally, there are awards, too, in the world of entertainment. Mr. Bill Giles, the weather forecaster, has been made a homosexual communist agitator and is to be shot at dawn. The controller of London Weekend Television, Mr. Marcus Plantin, becomes the jazz singer Blossom Dearie, and Alistair Burnett, better known as Amy Turtle in Coronation Street, receives a special award in the Queen's personal gift. He is to become the broadcaster and satirist Dame Paddy Ashdown.
Oh, Christ. Alexei, mate, we are recording. And action.
You know, I bought a cassette of this band the other day. They're called Head Cleaner.
Wow, they're absolutely fantastic.
I've got their video as well. Get a load of this. You know, it's a funny thing about the pop music business, though. Do you know that Bruce Springsteen is actually involved in strange sexual practices? Yeah, he gets his girlfriend to ram Duracell batteries up his behind. That's why he goes on 9 times longer than anybody else. One of the things that bothers me about pop music, though, is the hero worship. Ascribing godlike powers to celebrities is a dangerous road to take. It's a short step from Jason Donovan to Hitler. Another thing that bothers me about pop music is that pop music is really based on theft. I mean, the story of pop music is the story of white people stealing black people's music. I mean, rock and roll is only cleaned up black rhythm and blues. And you know that Mozart was black? So was Al Jolson. Yeah, he used to have to white up and then black up on top of that. You know, there's tribes in Africa and up the Amazon that keep a constant guard, and they're not worried about the loggers or the ranchers or even the crazed missionaries. No, the most frightening call that they can hear is, "Ah, Paul Simon's coming! Ah, hide all the rhythms!" Or Peter Gabriel's been spotted in the valley down below. Hide all the music! Ah! Which brings me to wonder how black people invented something as awful as jazz. Spiggly spoo, spiggly spoo, spiggly spoo. And that's jazz. I mean, there's 2 types of jazz, and they're both crap. There's avant-garde jazz, which sounds like somebody strangling an eel. And then there's trad jazz, which in Britain is usually a gang of woodwork teachers called something like Eden Vale and his Diabetic 11, all going, "Hold that tiger, hold that tiger, yotta, 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 oh, we're gone, Daddy, hold that."
Did you get a good look at the man who stole your handbag, Mrs. Arthropod?
Well, it was very dark, officer. And he was wearing one of those mufflers. It was covering most of his face.
Ah, well, never mind.
But he did give me this recent photo of himself. I don't know if it's of any use to you at all. He says it's quite a good likeness, although his hair's a bit shorter now. I've got him to jot down his name and address on the back, giving a number where he can be contacted during the daytime. I know it's not much to go on.
No. That was very quick thinking of you, Mrs. Arthropod. Well done. Right. We'll do what we can, anyway. If we should hear anything, naturally we'll be in touch. Bye for now, then, Mrs. Arthropod.
Thanks for the tea.
It's almost 9 months now since PC Derek Pickford joined the Herts Constabulary. In that time, he's made a success of his career in the face of obvious and considerable pressures. For Derek Pickford is thought to be the country's first invisible policeman.
It's not been easy. The public can be a bit funny sometimes. Like, if I'm on desk duty with a colleague, they'll often just completely ignore me and go up to the other one. I suppose I've always wanted to be a copper. I think the bit I find most rewarding is when I'm directing traffic.
Society's treatment of the invisible has long been a cause for shame. In Victorian times, people who couldn't be seen were treated as freaks. Since then, attitudes have changed. Today, the GPO leads the way towards full integration, with its ruling that 6 out of every 7 windows in a post office must be staffed by invisible tellers.
Well, we had a family of invisibles move in next door to us, right? And they was all right for 6 months. Then we found out that they was black. Well, naturally, we had to put a homemade petrol bomb through their letterbox.
For some, though, the hardships are evident. Cloris and Digby Winge of Deptford have particular cause to feel aggrieved.
Well, must be 15 years ago now. Through no fault of his own, he was in the laboratory at midnight, dabbling with the forces of nature, when a freak bolt of lightning resulted in him being bathed in a unique combination of strange chemicals. It takes a lot of looking after. Well, takes a lot of looking for. But he never complains. Finds a lot to interest himself. Crossword puzzles, reading, and of course he loves his boxing.
Speaking for the entertainment industry, we have made quite a lot of progress in terms of equal opportunities. Following recent agreements negotiated by Equity, whenever a director is shooting an empty room or a scene with no one in the background, he's now contractually obliged to use the skills of at least 5 invisible actors.
Mr. Limpett, I'm slightly confused as to how you feel qualified to represent invisible actors when you yourself are not, in fact, invisible.
I am too invisible.
Mr. Limpett, I put it to you that you are, in fact, a dwarf.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And that you're not even a proper dwarf, but are merely kneeling on a pair of slippers.
If all you're going to do is poke fun, I'm afraid I'll have to bid you good day. Went to a party the other day. The invite said bring a bottle, so I brought a bottle of salad cream. But the thing of it is, you know, that...
Cut it! Look, everyone in the back here, absolute quiet when Alexei's talking, all right? General action, but keep it silent. Sorry, Lex, once again, please.
Cut it! Sorry, Roger, you're still just playing it a bit as the comic director. You know what I mean?
No,
Keep it
sorry.
real. Make us believe there really are invisible people at the back there.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, got it.
Once again, then, please.
Force reality gag, take 5.
And finally, 18 months down the line, with the whole show in the can, after it's all been edited, graded and tested, and the musical soundtrack added, Alexei's Sayle stuff is at last ready for its first broadcast onto the nation's TV screens. Among them, this one here, at 36 Abattoir Terrace, Hounslow. And as you join us here in the home of Mr. and Mrs. Catsbottom, expectation mounts now, because I think that, yes, I understand that the star of the show, Mr. Alexei Sayle, is arriving outside at this very minute.
Is he? Yes, Michael, here he is, gliding gracefully into the room now and acknowledging his fans as he does so. And as he takes his seat, the lights now dim for this most glittering premiere of his TV show, Stuff.
Who's that fat bastard?
Must be Lord William Rees-Mogg.
All right.
Now on BBC One, our children's programmes continue with another edition of The Two Lone Rangers and Two Tontos.
Bloody crap. Here, who are you looking at?